and welcome. The last meet of the season for the Victorian Milers Club, Izak.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, meet 5 of 5. The season's gone so quick.
Yeah, it has. It only feels like last week that we were here at Victorian Milers Club at Box Hill.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we're already at the end of the season.
Probably the first season that there's been, well, it is the first season there's been 2 at Duncan MacKinnon Reserve here in Murrumbeena. We've got 29 races on the calendar or on the timetable for the night. So we'll be running races all the way through till a bit after 9 o'clock, about 9:15. Will be the finishing of our last race, which will be the A1500s. We do start with the 800 metres tonight, so we'll go from the men's K through to the women's and men's A races around 7:30, and then get straight into the 1500 metres after that for 1.5 hours. So lots of racing to be had. Plenty of other events on at the moment as well. So it feels like the whole athletics community are doing lots of racing at the moment. The other night at Box Hill, and then we've got events at Richmond, Collingwood, Box Hill again coming up, national championships, state championships. Have there been any highlights for you of the last couple of weeks?
Oh, definitely watching Archie Noakes in the 5K on Tuesday night. That was pretty exciting to be trackside for.
You were at the track for that one?
Yeah, I was yelling at him. Get going in those last few laps. It was pretty intense, and glad to see him get the World Junior qualifier, and I'm sure we should see a few tonight. Like, it's good conditions, and there's plenty of juniors that are ready to go after a good season of, winding up for a big performance like tonight.
Yeah, well, that's definitely your niche. You'll be able to identify all the young guns out there. We've got a few big name athletes racing in the 8s and 15s tonight, but it will be a bit of a night of the juniors who are chasing the qualifiers. As we said, there's plenty of events on at the moment, and the talent definitely is spread across the state and the country, and the multiple events that we've got on.
Yeah, it's been a pretty jam-packed week, and still quite a few events to come, like you said. Most notably probably the Sydney Track Classic, where I'm assuming most of the elites will be on Saturday night. Should be some exciting races down there. And field
definitely.
Events as well.
For the distance fans, the 3K obviously will be pretty good to see up at Sydney. As you mentioned, 5K the other night, Archie Noakes running 14:05. So not
only in the B race.
Yeah, exactly, in the B race. Not only just snuck under that qualifier, but did so by about 10 seconds.
Yeah, put himself in the prime position, quickest qualifying time. So he'll be looking forward to Nationals going in as a favourite.
Yeah, for sure. So men's K race on the track at the moment. There has been a number of changes to the start lists and not so much the timetable, but a couple less races on this evening because Tim Crosby, one of the organisers at Vic Milers Club, was saying that 30 athletes have been a very late withdrawal over the last 24 hours. Due to a number of reasons, but COVID, doesn't get away from us. That's going to be a reason for late dropouts for a while yet.
Yeah, it's just continuing to hang around. Heaps of athletes kind of either getting it or facing the long-term effects of it, which is difficult when you're doing an aerobic sport like distance running.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking with Mitch Dyer on Tuesday night, and just saying that it is one of those hard ones. No, it's a bit of the unknown, and everyone reacts differently when coming back. If anyone out there has had COVID, I know a few of the athletes that I coach, there's just been various reactions to it. Most people have ended up absolutely fine, but the recommendation always has been just that first week back, just ease back into things. You never know how you're going to come back from it, and you're right. It's it's a respiratory illness, isn't it? So the old distance running can't exactly help it.
I think we all assume that since we're fit, healthy runners, we'll be right, but then it kind of hits harder than we expect.
Yeah. So the men's K race, we have
on your mark.
7 races on the track, 7 athletes on the track. Seed times range between 2:27 to 3 minutes. So that's what we generally see for these first early races of the evening. So 2:27, of course, we'll see these first athletes come through round about that probably 72, 73 second first lap, I would have thought.
Looks like Bate Manus is going to go to the lead. Got the Yarra Rangers athlete there on his shoulder. That's Craig Hewitson. We've already got 3 athletes clearing away from the rest of the field, so pretty spread out race already. To go through the first 200 in about 31 seconds, so they're moving nicely.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead of that 72-second first lap, isn't it?
Yeah. Well on for PB pace.
Izak Sontag, that looks like as well, unless that might be Russell Dimitrenko. We'll see as they round the bend. That name is very, very familiar, but...
Plenty of familiar faces here.
Yeah, after 5 meets and various other club meets for the season.
Bate Manus, he's going for it. He's not afraid to solo this. Doesn't look too windy out there. So it's not a bad night to be leading as he goes through in 67 seconds at the bell. With Hewitson in behind him, and then...
It is Sontag in third position there. So most of these athletes on for around that 2:30 pace. It's always how they're going to hold together that second lap. It's always easier to run a first strong lap in any distance event, especially the 800.
Satisfying when you do negative split an 800. It's rare, but when it gets done, it always looks good on paper.
A lot of patience. Because if you're super, super fit, you're just going to go out even faster in that first lap.
Exactly,
unless you don't realise you're that as fit as you are, and then all of a sudden can let it rip in that last part.
It feels too easy, 200 in, and then 200 to go, you're gone.
Yeah. As Sontag, he passes the Yarra Rangers athlete in Hewitson, and he's gaining on Betamanis from Mentone. 100 metres to go. They'll both collect PBs though.
One for a good finish here. Bate Manus, he just found something extra here. Sontag did have to use a lot of energy to catch up to him. He's going to have to work hard if he wants to pass him, but it looks like Bate Manus is going to hang on here. Gun to tape win there. 2:24. Big run from Bate Manus and Sontag. 1-2. And Hewitson's going to come over for third with Spencer by... Oh, I think Spencer might have just got third there in the end. And then McKinnon coming over the line, and Rashid. Strong running from Austin Mates here, a regular at Milers Club. Just going to miss the PB, but a good effort. Good way to round out the Milers Club season from Austin.
So men's J up next, second of our 29 events for the evening. 9 people on the start list. We'll see how many toe the start line. PB's a little bit closer, or a lot closer in this race. 2:19 through to 2:23. So at 2:19, what are we going through that first lap in? Probably around maybe a 60, 67, 68.
Probably a good way to run it, 68 and 70.
Yeah, always want to have a couple of seconds. As I said, it's nice negative split or even split, but
it's hard.
Yeah,
got to be disciplined.
Yeah, I'm not even completely convinced that's the ideal way to race it. Anyway, I think going out with a second or two up your sleeve, and then still coming home strong. I mean, if there's only 2 second difference between the 2 laps, it's not like you've really faded that much.
It's expected, yeah.
Yeah.
Over in Queensland at their state champs in the under 2800. They went out in a 60-second first lap and closed in a 53.
Yeah. See, that's not the way to run it. That's sort of, is that, I'm not convinced that athlete has run their absolute best time then. Like, what if they went out in I don't know, 58 or something? Like, would they have closed just as fast?
Exactly. Got a field of 8 here. Looks like we are missing one athlete.
Favourite singlet in the race? The Wellington one in the middle. The white with the red and blue, full old school.
I like the old Scotch one.
Ah, yeah.
Newest singlet over the last 2 seasons.
And it is the Wellington athlete who makes his way to the front of the field. That is James Hansen, not the James Hansen who ran a strong 5,000 metres the other night, but James Hansen from... Oh, no, that is Luke Dwyer from Wellington, should I say. Got my numbers mixed up. But it is from Ringwood.
Thomas Lynette
up the front of the field.
Hugo Stubbs, or Michael Gallagher is going to go behind him there in front of the Wellington athlete, Luke Dwyer. Strung out here again like the last race, but not as far apart. So, staying together.
So
single file.
Lynette, Dwyer, Gallagher are your top three. And we're looking at that 68 odd seconds to go through that first lap. And maybe last place in this race is going to get through in the 68, 67. Oh, no, there we go. 67, 68. Pretty smart running. And the invitation athlete in Hansen has made his way to the front of this field. So Hansen, Lynette, Dwyer are your top three now with 300 metres to go.
Hansen's running like his namesake, a strong last lap here, just like we saw from James Hansen at the Box Hill Burn. But this James Hansen in the 800, he's going to kick away from the field here. 200 to go, 142, so he's moving nicely. He kicks away from Dwyer and Lynette, who did some of the work early, but looks like Hansen's just going to keep shifting gears here. 150 to go, he's found something else.
Yeah.
Kicked away from this field. The invitational athlete might have to sign up for a club next season, because he's going to be on for some big times, because he went out pretty slow and he's kicked home hard here, so...
He put a 2:20.0 down as his seed time, but he's proven he's much, much fitter than that. He'll cross the line in 2:15, 2:16 for James Hansen. Dwyer coming in second in 2:20 dead. And then a flood of athletes to follow.
Impressive running from Hansen, inspired by the other James Hansen.
Yeah, he's been running very, very well lately.
It's good to see that we're getting invitational athletes right through the season. New people coming through.
There's been plenty of them, and so many interstaters at the Box Hill meet the other night as well.
I noticed we have a couple in the A race for the men's 1500 tonight. Adam Goddard from South Australia and saw a Tasmanian name on the start list as well.
Yeah, Victoria, well and truly a place to be to run fast times. So many events on offer. So women's F800 metres will be next on the track. We have 7 athletes on our start list, and it looks like 7 will make their way to the start line. PBs ranging between 2:48 and 3:45. So once again, we'll predict what their first lap should be. But actually, the last one wasn't too bad. We almost got it right. Yeah, got it pretty well right. But then James Hansen just blew everything out of the water in that second lap and ran. Well, actually, he might have negative split.
Maybe, because he wasn't up there.
He was
early.
thereabouts.
He did sit mid-pack.
Yeah.
So he probably went through in about 68, 69.
Yeah, and then finished in a 2:16. So, yeah, maybe just negative split, just faster on that second lap for James Hansen there. So 2:48. I reckon they'll go through that first lap in 80.
Sounds
1 minute
right.
and 20 seconds. Maybe a bit ambitious, but I don't know. Just wait and see. Hopefully I'll prove myself right.
On your marks.
So it looks like our athlete from Mentone in the middle of the track in Madison, Driscoll, is leading the way around, as is Edie Pitcher from Ballarat. They'll be your 1-2. Pitcher followed by Driscoll. And Laura Coleman from Wellington is in the mix as well. She'll sit into third position. Coming around that first 200 metres in just under 40 seconds. Fair bit under 40 seconds, actually a few seconds under. So Pitcher, Driscoll, Coleman, still your top three. Nice little 1, 2, 3 they've got formed at the front. There's another athlete there. We'll see their hip number as they roll around, but she's joining in all the fun out the front as well. As Driscoll looks to get up on the shoulder of Pitcher. Oh, no, that's not Pitcher. That's the invitational athlete wearing the same uniform as Pitcher, who's sitting in.
McBratney-Owen there in the lead. Driscoll's tucked in behind her. See what they come through here. Oh, could be bang on.
No, it is Pitcher.
There we
Pitcher,
go, 80
Driscoll.
seconds.
80 seconds
Perfect.
on the nose. Pither. Driscoll. As the athletes start to string out now, but Pither, she's led from the front. She's just increasing her lead over Driscoll from Mentone in the yellow. And who did we decide it was? It was Jacqueline McBratney-Owen in third position, leading that mini pack around.
She gets passed now by the Melbourne Uni athlete, Sarah Emmons. She's moving through the field nicely here, making her way up to Driscoll. But out front it's old Pither with 200 to go. Could be on for sub 240 here. She's moving nicely, hasn't slowed down too much, and looks like she's going to try and pick it up here with 150 to go. Striding away from Driscoll and the rest of the field.
And you can see the stride pattern of Pither out the front compared to the other athletes, although Driscoll's starting to tick the legs over right now, lifting the knees up a bit, but there was a distinct difference for a while there in the athletes. So, yeah, 240. She might just miss out on that, but will still be a PB, still beat her to, well, what was it? Oh, she put 3 minutes down as her seat time, so she'll absolutely beat that. 245, 246. Strong run by Pither. And Driscoll coming through for a 250, just a couple of seconds outside of her seed time.
McBratney-Owen coming over for third there. And then Emmons was fourth, I believe. So some good running there in the first of the women's races for the night. Good to see some PBs. As we see Emily Legg making her way down the home straight here.
Well, Sarah Emmons had her seat as 345, and she's just run a 255. So not bad.
Jack Rayner-esque, huge PB.
Emily Legg from Old Zavarians.
Close to a PB. 3-4 seconds off. See some more familiar names here. Jerian, Liam Michelle, Mark Hipworth in the next of the men's races, the men's I-800.
Geez, all of a sudden we're getting down. We're nudging the low twos.
Already.
We're not breaking two, but we're getting down there so quickly.
Getting to 210s. Hopefully we can see that barrier broken in this next race. Fastest PB in the field is 212 by Christopher Dwyer.
Okay, 212 to 217 is the spread of seed time, so I'll go and you try and predict it, Izak.
Ooh.
212, what do they want to be running through the first?
I imagine the goal would be sub 210, so I think they'll go out in about a 64.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they can hang on.
I reckon you're on there. If it's 62, they've stuffed it up.
Well, who knows? There's some dragonflies out in the field here, so they could be on for a red-hot start. Not sure if it's just me, but the straights look a lot longer here at Duncan MacKinnon.
Maybe it's because we're up higher.
It could be.
I reckon the back straight, definitely. I reckon the whole track actually looks bigger.
Yeah. The 1500 start looks a lot
It's 420 metre track. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It's a good sign of a short bend is if the 1500 metre start is back further on the track. So I reckon you could be right. Short bend, long straight. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. As Tom Vulcan from Mentone makes his way to the front of the field. Followed by, it would be one of our invitational athletes. I'm not going to gamble on the name yet.
I think it's Sam Eric. I think he was on the
All
inside.
Right, you'll take a gamble on it then.
We'll have to wait till we can see the hip numbers, but either way, the field's going out hard here.
Yeah, Tommy Vulcan out the front leading. Oh, that's a train. That is what you call a train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Carriage by carriage, although Vulcan and we'll go with Merrick.
I think it is. Oh.
And no, Burnell.
Burnell.
That's why we don't guess, although we do guess all the time. Through that first lap, we said 62, they've gone too fast, and they've run a 62 for their first lap.
Jerry sitting nicely in third there. The two Glen Huntley athletes behind him. The field's still strung out. You can see some gaps starting to form.
Jerry Ng sitting on the corner, on the heels of Burnell in second. So he's a Melbourne Uni athlete, Jerry. As Burnell looks to pass Vulcan on the shoulder in the back straight, but Vulcan's saying, "Nah, I'm not ready to get up the lead yet. Maybe on the bend."
Burnell's going to need to make a move before the bend, because otherwise he's going to be stuck on the outside. And you don't want to be running extra distance, 200 to go in an 800. And he drops in with 200 to go, and look at that, the turnover. Straight away, he puts in a gap. He's going to try and kick away here. He's really winding it up.
I'm getting obsessed with this heel lift, but check it out. It's a bit hard now, but so the heel lift of Burnell was nowhere near as much as Vulcan, but he's managed to power away into the front straight anyway. Will it be the 204 that they set themselves up for? Probably not, but they'll get under 212 here tonight. Burnell, Vulcan going 210, Jerry Ng in third position.
I think that might have been our first sub 210. It looked like it was right on the barrier of 209 and 210. So impressive running there in the men's I race.
And Christopher Dwyer, following the footsteps of his brother from Wellington in an early race, coming in fourth position there.
Good tactical running from Justin Burnell. It's better tactics than you sometimes see in the A and B races. Dropping in right before the bend, making sure he's not running any extra distance. Smart running for the win.
Oh, now we're getting pretty close together in the old times. 210 to 212 is the spread in this one now. Best name athlete in the race, Ocean Shepherd.
Oh, we've seen that one before. Got another bait man in this as well.
Keep an eye on Ocean.
Aiden Marasco. Lots of familiar names here at Milers Club Meet 5. It's been a big season for distance running. Not just in Australia, around the world. We've seen plenty of quick times on the elite level and the Vic Milers Club level.
Well, it's we've got a championship year every year now, so the standard has to be peaked all the time. So it'll be exciting seeing those double championships for athletics so close together this year, especially coming off a massive Olympic year as well.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity for younger athletes. And I'm sure that'll inspire some of the young athletes in this field right now. It looks like it's the Bendigo runner.
Daniel Noden from Bendigo gaps the field by about 5 metres straight out.
It's looking smooth. He's just got a nice clean action, and he's gliding down the back straight as they go through 228 seconds.
And Quan Nguyen leads the rest of the pack. He'll do his best to bridge that gap to Noden, as he does already. Our athlete from Glen Huntley in Kane Rossitier. So Quan Nguyen already right up on the heels of Noden. Noden's going to hold strong in that first position as they go through their first lap. 60 seconds, 61 seconds. So about the same time as that earlier race. And those boys ran through in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Will these guys do the same?
Noden's looking smooth. They've been doing something well down at Bendigo, because the Bendigo bats have been on a mission over the last few months. And Noden is looking to continue that success. But Nguyen's not going to let him go easy. Noden is making this look easy. That was one of the easiest 60-second laps I've ever seen. He's just gliding away from the field here, but it looks like it's a two-man race unless the Glen Huntley athlete can get his way back onto the heels of Nguyen.
Roster might just do it, but Quan Nguyen passes the race leader for the first 600 metres. He's just been sitting on the heels of Noden. But Noden's not going to say, all right, you can have this one. Check out the battle in the front straight that we have coming up. Quan Nguyen enters the front straight in first position. Noden chasing right up on his heels, getting up on the shoulder. The lactic's building in Newen's quads, his calves, his hamstrings as Noden charges past for a 2:06. Nice little PB. 2:07 for Newen, few seconds PB for both of them, and 2:11 for about the rest of the field.
Good running there from Noden. Didn't let Newen have it easy. He could have given up when he lost the lead, but he fought hard in that last 100 metres to get back into the prime position and take the win.
That was
and in
a
a
smart
PB.
race.
On your marks.
So we're off and racing in the women's E 800 metres. 2:28 is the top seed.
Looks like it could be Cara Wiley on the inside from Yarra Rangers, getting one of the best starts of the field. Christina Nakovsky as well, the invite athlete. She actually will cross the orange cones in. Oh no, we have Millie Williams spoiling the party for Nakovsky.
So far, this is our most bunched race. They're close together as they come through 200 in about 34 seconds. Try and get a read in that hip number there as the leader puts a couple of metres on the Sandringham athlete in Williams.
It's a bit hard to tell because it seems that we do have a couple of athletes out of Athletics Victoria Club uniform here. Yet only one athlete listed as invitational, so we'll see as they come around.
Looks like that's Nakovsky. So Nakovsky's in the lead, I think.
Oh, it's Curtis, Caroline Curtis. With the hip number 8 coming through. Audrey Savage in second position. 70 seconds, 77 seconds. So for a 2:28, just on the easy side for these girls. They'll have to speed up in the second half of this race. They'll have to kick home as Savage, I reckon she's just waiting to pass her 300 metres to go as Audrey Savage just checks her watch.
No one's out of it here.
Exactly. There's about 4, 5, 6 athletes that are right in the mix as Savage. She has to pass soon as she does. Passes Curtis. Millie Williams is right there, the athlete from Sandringham.
Looks like Wiley from Box Hill's also there. She's just sitting on the shoulder of Williams, but it is Savage up front. He's going to try and break the field here. Curtis won't go away, though. Still 5 in it. And the Doncaster athlete's going to try and come from behind here. Looks like that's Charlotte Senior. She moves wide as they come into the straight, so does Wiley.
You've called it, Izak.
It's like the Melbourne Cup there. 4 wide down the home straight, and the Doncaster athlete, Charlotte Senior, has found something extra in this last 50 metres. Williams finishing strong as well, but it's old Charlotte Senior from Doncaster. 2:36 to take the win, so definitely our closest race so far.
Watch the replay of that one. That's how you win a race.
Swan off the
Didn't
bend.
even mention senior until the last 150 metres, and she goes bang. So of course, if you're watching from home on Facebook or YouTube, give us a shout out. Tell us what you think. I don't know. What else can I tell us, Izak?
Cheer for whoever you're watching.
Yeah, let us know who you're watching tonight. So 9 athletes on the line, or getting on the line now. It might be just ahead of time. Very, very efficient running here at the Milers Club meets, as we know. So event number 7 of the evening, event number 7 of 29. It's the men's G 800 metres. 9 athletes are listed.
Might be missing an athlete on the inside, Angus Ashworth. He raced at the Box Hill Burn. I'm sure a few of these athletes will be doubling up or either pulling out because of their efforts there.
Training by racing.
On your marks.
So we do have 8 of the 9 athletes listed on the start list, and probably our athlete from Box Hill in Scott Benedict. It could even be Jet Schofield from Wellington Athletics in the white striped singlet. And is Schofield and Benedict will be 1, 2, and our athlete from Nunawading spoiling the party in Oscar Wright. No,
straight through the middle of the pack.
Brady Ryan from Glen Huntly. So it's Ryan, Wright, Benedict. From Mentone, we have Mitchell Fly from Mentone. Pretty closely bunched. And so they should be, as their PBs are only spread by a few seconds. Scott Benedict, the best of them from Box Hill, with 2:06 to his name. That's why he's on the inside, itching to just pass on the inside. Yet Brady Ryan isn't going to let him as they go through their first lap in 64 seconds. So Scott Benedict to get a PB, he'll have to really wind it up in the second half. But Brady Ryan running a strong race out in front. Benedict passing on the bend. Don't love it, but sometimes it's necessary. As Benedict, he was itching. He was itching to pass. Ryan's trying his best to hang on. Little flies past Ryan as Mitchell Fly from Mentone fades away into the pack. So it's Benedict, Little, Ryan as 1, 2, 3. But check out Benedict. He's just put the burners on.
200 after the Box Hill Burn as well. Fatigue in the legs. It's not going to stop him from kicking away from the field and winning here. But Benedict is going to finish strong. Glen Huntly athletes in 2nd and 3rd, but it's all Scott Benedict out front. It's probably not going to be a PB, but a win in the books for Scott Benedict to round out the Milers Club season.
Although
206.
206 point whatever. Might be a PB.
Maybe. He was very close.
And that was Brady Ryan, actually, and William Little. So Brady Ryan coming in 2nd there. William Little in 3rd position. The 2 Glen Huntly boys on their home track. But yeah, Benedict. Nice race. And yeah, didn't think he must. Well, he would have negative split that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think it was a 64-62.
Very strong second half there.
The athletes just love to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Every time we doubt them.
Men's F 800. 2:03 to 2:06 start times for men's F 800. Some ambitious boys in this race, might be hitting 60 seconds for that first lap.
We've run around the 2:03 to 2:06 mark in this next race.
Thanks, gentlemen, behind your mark.
I'm sure they'll be going for around that 2 flat mark. So we should see a sub 60 first lap if they want to be able to do that.
On your marks.
All right, and it might be our boy from Scotch and who's on the outside of him? Mark Stodden from Richmond, maybe.
Also Jack Waters from Box Hill. Looks like he's going to take the lead position.
Sam Allen just tucks in behind him, the athlete from Old Scotch in the all-red kit.
28 seconds to 200 there, so they're moving nicely. Jack Waters isn't going to push the pace too hard, but he is going to put him on an honest tempo. Yeah, he doesn't look too happy to be leading, as we almost see a fall there in the back of the pack. The Essendon athlete there, Christian Knox, but he stays on his feet, and the field's pretty compact. No one's off the back anyone's race at the moment as they come through the bell in about 62 seconds, so they're going to have to pick it up if they want around that 2 flat mark. I don't think we'll be seeing a sub 2. Oh, geez. Some movers at the back of the pack there. Bit of carnage, but everyone stays on their feet. Waters still leading. Sam Allen just on his shoulder, happy to be there. Not looking to make any moves yet. And also Mark Stodden from Richmond is in there.
Oh, and check out our boy from Geelong Guild in Broden Bond. Charging through the field, taking 1, 2, 3 athletes, slipping his way into 3rd position behind Waters as Sam Allen charges away from Waters in 2nd. So Allen, Waters, Broden Bond, has he done all his hard work in the back straight? Is he going to have enough legs to pass Waters in the final straight? We'll see. Sam Allen is looking quick going into that last straight, 80 metres to go. Broden Bond is going to pass Waters, just check him out. But it is Allen's race tonight here at Duncan MacKinnon Reserve. 2 minutes, 2:01. He wants to get under 2:03. Will he do it? Just short. So Allen, Waters, Bond.
Hill came through nicely there as well.
All right, we're getting up to the pointy end. Women's D race. Event 9 of the evening already.
The 800s go by pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do. About 2 minutes per race, eh?
And not long between. It's a smooth operating machine here at Milers Club.
Yeah. So, well, only 4 seconds separating the women coming up on the track next. 2:23 or 2:27 seed times. So, I think we had a men's race that was similar earlier tonight, and we said about 68, 69 seconds might sort of see them through around that 2:22, 2:23 mark with a bit of change to spare. So 8 athletes on the start list, 6 athletes on the track, as we said. Some late withdrawals that actually let us know are withdrawing, and others will be left withdrawals that, well, they're the empty lanes on the track, as you can see. 2:23, first lap in, well, 70 seconds would even set them up pretty well. But I bet it'll be a little bit quicker than that.
On your marks.
Looks like it's the Mornington athlete on the inside who's going to go for the lead. Doesn't want to get boxed in lane 1 there when the athletes merge in. And also on the outside, our Mentone athlete, Karen Hyder.
So Karen Hyder, and you're right, Kayla Schwallow from Mornington is looking good, and Brianna Sherry from Casey Cardinia. They'll be your top 3, but they're just sitting in a nice little pack there. Sunny Backer is at the back of that pack. Mornington Peninsula's Imogen Baker as well is now, she's putting herself into 2nd. Just behind Hayter. They are all setting themselves up for a nice little race here. As we said, only 3 seconds separate the whole field. And they're looking to go through that first lap in, well, yeah, 70 seconds, maybe even a little bit under that. So Imogen Baker is up on the shoulder of Hayter. Brianna Sherry is tucked in a nice little position there out of the wind. And going through in 70 seconds exactly, setting themselves up for a 2:21, 2:22, and maybe even a bit quicker if they can kick it home. So Hayter, followed by Baker, Sherry, and is Kayla Schwallow just in the best position of all of them, tucked in 4th position on the inside. If she can get out, she might put the burners on and kick home in that second 70-second lap.
She's going to have to be careful what she does. She doesn't want to drop back and then have to surge around, and as I say, that it looks like a gap's opening up for her to move if she wants it, but Backer's going to make a move from the back of the field here. Still anybody's race, it looks like. So At the moment, Baker's in the lead with Hyder in second as Backer is... she's picking off competitors here as she moves into second position and chasing down Baker. So it's Baker and Backer, Mornington versus Doncaster as they come into the straight. Baker's got about 5 metres on the rest of the field. Hayter's not done with yet either. She led for most of the race and now she's going to try and make a move around the outside, but it's all Imogen Baker from Mornington Peninsula as she comes to the finish line. It's going to be around that 2:20 mark, just over. Well run though, so 2:21 there, so almost even split. Backer and Hyder for second and third, then Sherry and Swallow. So impressive running there. Yeah. 70-second first lap and probably about the same for that second lap.
PBs from the first few athletes across the line as well. So yeah, Sunday Backer, she was in last position coming through that first lap. So to do what she did and just wait, it was pretty impressive.
The second big kick we've seen from a Doncaster athlete. We saw it earlier.
Oh, you reckon there's something in it?
Maybe. Maybe it's their club tactic. Got another Doncaster athlete in this next race. Jack Dalton. We'll see what he does. If he does a sit and kick, I reckon we can pin it on a Doncaster tactic.
Yeah, it's the way they're coached.
Looks like this is our first full field here. I think every race so far has had 1 or 2 out of it. Looks like we've got all 8 competitors here.
8 athletes listed, 8 athletes on the line. And could it be, I'm not sure if it will, but could it be our first race where we see a sub 2? So 2:01 is Jack Alice from Athletics Chilwell in the middle of the track. Down to a 2:03 from Samuel Lowe. We'll take a 2 or 3 second PB for any of them to get under. And the next race, the men's D race, is all 2-minute 2:01 runners who will also be looking to go sub for the first time.
We've said that for the last couple of men's races, that it could be the one to go sub 2, but surely this one.
Yeah,
2:01.
Yeah, well, the last 2 could be the one to get a PB. This one legitimately could go sub 2. I think I said they were nudging 2 minutes. Ooh, and it's a false start. How many false starts do we ever see at Milers Club? What's going on? How many false starts do we see in distance? If it's going to happen in a distance race, it's going to be an 800, I guess.
When you
I have been guilty of false starting in a distance race. All schools 3,000 metres.
Oh, yeah? I saw it happen in a cross-country race once.
Really?
It's like, why would you even bother? Why would you even call them back? Someone who obviously just got their gun licence. Just wanted to use it.
Trigger happy.
On your marks.
Oh, no. Oh, that didn't even sound like the gun started. It was just like a screech. And old mate from Old Zavarian, Seb Darn, he said, oh, darn, I missed that. As Yannick Ernst from Essendon, well, he's not wasting any time. Maybe he does want to be the first 159 runner of the evening as he goes through that first 200 metres in 26, 27 seconds. We have Jared Cripps from Diamond Valley doing his best to chase him in second position. And, Doncaster, Jack Dalton, is he going to do the famous Doncaster kick? But he's Yannick Ernst, who hasn't been racing all season. He's just gone 5th race at Milers Club. This is my time. This is my night. And he goes bang.
Jeez.
First lap in 53, 54, 55 seconds. I am so curious. And the rest of the field coming through perfectly in 58 seconds. I think Ernst has too big a lead to lose it from here. It's just a matter of what time he'll run, or will I eat my words in the second half of this race. Jared Cripps still leading the rest of the field around, and our highest seeded athlete in Jack Alice right on his heels.
As the rest of the field's moving along nicely. Ernest might have gone out too hard. He's looking starting tired. To feel the lactic acid down the back straight.
But still through in a 127. Can he hang on for 33?
Sam Darn. He missed the start, but he's not going to miss the finish. He's going to come through for the win here. Looks like
Yannick
he's kicking
Ernst.
away. He flies past
Sorry,
Ernst.
bud.
Yeah, looks like he's going to kick away from the rest of the field here, as we also see the Diamond Valley athlete making a strong move down the home straight. But Sam Darn, he missed the start, and it doesn't matter. He's going to win anyway.
Liam
Look at the time.
Hanrahan, Cripps.
It's gonna be close.
He's going to be our first sub of the night.
Oh.
Just over.
Too
Done.
flat in the next percent, if
Hanrahan,
you don't mind.
Cripps. We had Horsey.
And it's coming through
And
there at
Yannick,
about
well,
207.
sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And it doesn't work all the time, but...
You'll never know if you never try.
Exactly.
I'll just blame it on the wind.
Yeah.
He was out there leading into it. Made it difficult. If he had someone out there, he would have held on to that pace for sure, I'm sure.
Yeah. If you want a definition, if you try and explain to someone what lactic acid looks like, well, that's a video to show them.
I'm expecting to see that one next year in PE at school.
Yeah. Yeah, you know I'm PE.
Here's a demonstration.
So can you explain lactic acid? Well, watch this video. That's what it is.
If I have to do a presentation, I'll just be uploading the Athletics exclusive live stream.
Yeah.
Excited for this race. The Glenn Huntley pair in lane 1 or hip number 1 and hip number 11. Kevin Zhu and Luca Sidorides. They've been running some very impressive times for their ages this season. Sidorides took the win at the state champs, beating Bart Leedon, which is not easy to do.
Nah, Bart Leedon, superstar. So he's Zoo's vested him.
Should be an interesting race.
And 9 athletes. It's the biggest field that we've had of the night.
I believe Guy Freak, who's
On
ranked
your
number 9,
mark.
has run sub 2. So this could be the one.
Oh,
no.
Another false start.
Could be similar to what we saw at the US Olympic trials with
You need to
multiple
remain
false starts in a
steady.
row because of
On your
technical
mark,
issues.
please.
Yeah.
Remain steady.
Yeah,
do hear the
remaining
starters
steady.
telling him to
So,
remain steady.
yeah, got to watch the athletes here.
On your marks.
There we go. Away cleanly. Kevin Zhu off to a sharp start on the inside.
As is Marasco from Doncaster, right in the middle of the pack. Frick from Collingwood, as he said, is gone around that 2-minute mark before. Down in the inside. Who's that? That's taken the lead from Mentone.
I think it's Georgievic. Nikolaj Georgievic, the invitation
Nikolaj
athlete.
Georgievic, who has not registered for the season because he is listed as invitational athlete. So we have Georgievic, Zhu, Marasco.
Kadich in there as well. Guy Frick moving around now.
So they are going for it. They're going to need to run 58 seconds first lap to set themselves up well for a strong second. I'm liking the way that Zoo's moving through though. 59 seconds. You're going to have a strong second half to get under. Frick is just waiting on Zoo's heels. Those top 3 are about to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Well, 5 that will separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Who have Luke Sidorides from Glenn Huntley hanging well. He's just dropping off now. Marasco's up there as well. But Georgievic, Nikolaj Georgievic of Mentone is leading the way. He's extending his lead past Zoo. He hasn't done a lot of racing this season. Might be one of his first back. And he's showing that his training is paying off. He is fit. He's ready for a strong second half. He can go the distance.
He's on track for sub 2. He went through 600 and 129, and he's going to finish strong here as he makes his way into the home straight with about 10 metres on Guy Frick, Kevin Zhu and Marasco. Marasco's finishing strong. Guy Frick is going to have to try and hold on for second here. It's going to be close, but Marasco's going to pass him. But it's all Nikolaj Georgievic out front. He looks around. 159, if you don't mind.
Oh, he was doing a bit of looking around at the end there.
Interesting.
What was that all about?
Checking the shoulder in a Milers
Yeah,
Club.
but a few times.
Running for time here.
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
got to put the head down and go.
So there you go. Sub 2. We've done it. Broken the barrier.
just looking at the start list of the next men's race, we should see sub 2 again. Some good names in that field, but before we get into that,
we'll just have to just wait a second. Just wait. We have the women's race, 2:18 to 2:22 will be the spread of times here. So love it when everyone's so closely bunched because you never know who's going to what everyone's going to do in these races.
Should be our first sub 220 from the women's tonight.
Yep, it will be.
It so far,
I would imagine.
After meet 5 last year, a few athletes were calling Glen Huntly the home of PBs because of some of the times that they ran in the 1500. But what do you reckon, Box Hill or Glen Huntly, home of PBs?
Oh, Box Hill for sure, especially once they get the wave lights next year,
oh.
which I've heard rumours of.
Next year's Box Hill band.
Steve Deneen, if you're listening.
Third time lucky Stewie will go sub 13.
Yeah. Yeah, wave lights at Box Hill, and it'll be the home of PBs worldwide. But yeah, it's just been little bit breezy at Box Hill the other night. A little bit breezy tonight as well, as we see the trees just flutter on the back straight.
Surprisingly, that was the worst conditions we've ever seen at Box Hill.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad, but
it wasn't even that bad. But yeah, probably worse than most. We've got Dash for Cash tonight as well, $100. Don't forget that. It's men's E, 1,500 metres, so it'll probably be in about 40 or 50 minutes' time. And we've got a bit of prize money up for grabs in the... Well, anyone can win it, but it's probably going to be the A race. Athletes who are going to go for some incentive bonuses. So we'll keep an eye on those races as they come and tell you how much cash they're all up for as we look at the women's C as... Ooh, it looks like Paige Alvey from Frankston is making her way to the front of the field, but no, it's Doncaster's Bella Fari who's going to spoil the party and get on the inside. So Bella Fari, Paige Alvey, Tanya...
Quick start here.
Vijay Kumar.
About a 31-second first 200 metres from Bella Fari. She's not slowing it down. She's keeping the foot on the gas.
So Fari, Vijay Kumar, Alvi, Coltish in 4th position. Don't forget about Amber Lowe from Sandringham in 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be anyone's race. Even Amber Lowe, the 5th place runner right now, is still looking good. Any of them can take off with 300 metres to go. And it's hard doing all the rain from the front, so I'm worried for Bella Fari. We'll see how she goes over the next 300 metres as Vijay Kumar gets up on her shoulders and takes the lead. Now, Alvi almost trips up as she passes Fari.
Vijay Kumar, though, on the home track. Going to try and break the field here down the back straight. 250 to go. Got a couple of metres on Fari and the rest of the field.
Coltish.
141. Coltish just stalking. Looks like she's ready to make a move. So too Paige Alvey from Frankston. But can Vijay Kumar hold on our home track? As I say that, though.
Alvey and Coltish are helping each other out here as Vijay Kumar is just out the front, sacrificed herself, see what she can do. But Coltish has spurred on Alvey, and Alvey has absolutely taken the challenge to challenge Vijay Kumar in the final straight as she charges home, and she will collect a PB for her troubles. 2:18 for Alvey, Vijay Kumar, Coltish, Lowe, Fari, and Brown to round out the field.
So our first sub 220 from the women tonight. Back-to-back barrier breakthroughs, sub 2 and sub 220.
Love to see it.
It was gutsy running there from Bella Fari, but just didn't have the legs. She was inspired by Ernest earlier.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't go that far.
Going for the incentives, maybe.
Yeah.
You never know. You could see someone snag an incentive in the C or D race. Just
you never know.
come from the clouds.
I reckon I've almost seen that once. I reckon. That's good talking. I reckon that one of the B race winners one time was almost as fast, if not like as fast as the A race winner. Just came from nowhere, basically.
Oh, we saw something close to
Don't
that
quote me,
at,
but-
I think, meet 3 or 4. Luke Young came down from New South Wales
Oh, yeah.
and he split a 27-second 200 in the last lap of a 1500 and ran like a 3:51 in the B race, or C race even.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
you
remember
never
it
know.
happening. It can happen.
If you're on the live stream, let us know if you've ever seen someone snag an incentive from a race other than the A race.
So who is Crocodilian, Izak? Do you know who that is? It says,
Not
go
sure.
Izak. Well done, Izak.
I think that's Isaac Sontag, though. Maybe.
Okay, and then we have Pro
Sporting.
Pig saying go Sontag. What time was Sontag's race? Everyone's on here to see Sontag. Jeez, who is Sontag?
We saw him earlier.
Oh, no, I remember who
Williamstown, yeah.
Sontag, but I mean, like, who is he really? Like, does he have
Celebrity.
like 20,000 YouTube subscribers like yourself, Isaac?
Oh, not sure.
Like, I know Sontag the runner. I want to know Isaac the man behind the athlete.
We'll have to do some
Obviously,
research.
I know Sontag. So men's C 800 meter, and yeah, please answer that question. How's everyone on the YouTube? Sound about 60 years old. How does everyone on YouTube know Sontag so well? Give us some insight there,
On
please.
your marks.
As the men's C race gets on their marks, PB spread between 1:56 and 2 minutes. It'd be a treat if every single one of these athletes went under 2 minutes. I'm not sure if it will happen, but I don't know. We'll see. Mitchell Wilson from Collingwood leads the way. Or it is Mitchell Wilson on the inside. We have Kai Davies from Mornington and Seb Farrelly from Mornington as well. Go 1, 2, 3. So we have a Mornington Peninsula sandwich. The two Collingwood athletes. Oh, okay. And our boy from Knox, Harvey Anderson, is
It's definitely not Harvey Anderson there.
not Harvey Anderson. Okay, well, controversy here. So is someone wearing Harvey Anderson's bib
Maybe.
has... Oh, no, he's maybe a late entry. He's wearing the number 11.
Could
We
be.
don't want to speculate. Not Harvey Anderson. Unknown runner. Okay, so Mitchell Wilson leads the way from Kai Davies, Seb Farrelly, and our athlete from Knox, probably coached by Gav Burren. Once again, don't want to speculate. Gav Burren coaches a lot of Knox athletes. As Kai Davies, Kai Davies, he's probably the most experienced athlete, one of the most experienced athletes on this track. Seb Farrelly is the young gun. He's chasing hard, just nipping the heels of Kai Davies, but Kai Davies says, nah, I'm going to let you go now, as he jumps up on Wilson's shoulder, looking to pass before the bend, and Mitchell Wilson just saying, nah, don't do that.
You can see Mitch Dyer's favourite athlete, Will Lindsay, making his way around now. He's finishing strong here. He's made his way from the back of the field. It's a 3-man race.
Check out Davies. He's getting up on the shoulder of Wilson. He is going to pass him. Will Lindsay is going to spoil the party. Just watch.
Here he goes.
Watch. Davies will take Wilson.
Oh,
Lindsay will take Davies.
just 156.
Love it when it all works out for me.
You're holding your breath there. You
And was
called
the
it
field?
early.
Field just so the field is under 2:01. We'll take that.
Very impressive running. 5-second gap between first and the back of the field.
All right.
I'm sure Mitch
If
will
we
be all
weren't
over
quick
the live
already,
chat.
yeah. If we weren't quick already, now we're getting real quick. Women's B. With C time spread between 2:15 and 2:17.
Should be a close race here. 2 seconds apart.
And a few names in this race as well. We've got 8 athletes on the start list. 6 on track.
Got a New South Wales athlete, our first interstate. Annabelle Magnuson. Interesting to see New South Wales athletes coming here, considering they've got the Sydney Track Classic on the weekend. But I mean, who wouldn't want to come down to Vic Milers Club?
Who exactly? Okay, so break that magical 2:15.
On
What
your
are we
marks.
thinking? 60, 66, 67,
I reckon a 65. I
65.
reckon they're going to go out hard. Set
All
her
right,
up.
as Bridget Humphrey does on the inside, the athlete from St Stephen's Harriers. but
Magnuson from New South Wales. She wants to make the trip worth it.
she absolutely
go for
does.
it.
She's not just going for 2:15, she's going for 2:10.
Going for the win.
So Magnuson. We have Amy Canavan slipping her way into second position. Okay, so it's the pack and Magnuson. Are we seeing another Yannick
Ernst
situation here? I hope
Maybe.
not, for Magnuson's sake.
She heard us talking about the incentives.
Yeah.
Maybe she's going for it.
Saying that it can be done. It can be done in a B race.
We'll have to check what the incentives are after this race, but it's old Magnuson, about 30 metres, maybe even more. She comes up to collect the bell. She's quicker than other of us
All
predicted,
right.
Mick.
63 seconds and she's gone, oh no, oh no, oh no, as Humphrey crosses the line in second position, leading into that one lap to go. Canavan just on her heels and Karima Wakim from Collingwood following Canavan in tow. But it still is Magnuson. She's not slowing yet, but Humphrey is increasing her speed. She's closing hard. Canavan is trying her absolute best. And Megan Dean is in... no, she's a bit further back. Well, not on the start list at all. Magnuson increasing that lead. No, she's not increasing that lead. She's holding that lead. 200 metres to go. Humphrey, check out that stride. Almost tripped on the rail there, did she?
The rail there, yeah. It's not going to stop her from gaining on Magnuson. Will she be able to make the pass? Has Magnuson saved anything? I'm not sure if she has. It looks like Humphrey's just going to move wide as she comes into the straight and fly past Magnuson here.
Huge from Humphrey, running the 1,000 metres on Tuesday night, coming into the 800, closing strong, looking for a negative split type race, and she is going to run around that 2:15.
Bang on. Rest of the field right around that 2:18, 2:20 mark, so impressive running there.
Yeah, that was a great run.
Gutsy running from Magnuson. Wanted to make the trip worth it. Yeah, as you said, Humphrey backing up from the 1K at Boxhill Burn. It's a big effort. The 1K is basically just a more painful 800.
Yeah.
Just an extra 200
You run
metres at
800,
Lactic.
then you try and hang on.
I did it last year at Boxhill Burn and was just a bit confused how to run it. I don't know if you want to go out slow and then pick it up and run it like an 800.
Yeah.
Or run it like an 800 and try and hang on.
It's it's good to run those different distances. I've never done the 1,000. I've done the mile a few times, which I like. I think the mile has a bit of that history to it, the comparison with the US. It's cool to know your mile time.
It's probably means a bit more than saying you can run, a 350, 1,500 metres versus a 405 mile,
Yeah.
350, 1,500.
Well,
It's probably
depending
a
where
bit
you are, I
harder
guess.
to complicate. Yeah.
The 1,000 metres, though, on Tuesday night, that's when you can go to school, go to work, and be like, this is why I ran for 1 kilometre. Because everyone who sort of jogs around knows their...
footy players.
Yeah, knows their per kilometre pace
Yeah.
if they're jogging around or something.
I
And
did
go,
go-
I ran 2 minutes and 30 seconds for a kilometre. They go, you did what?
I did go tell some mates that I watched Pete Ball run 2:18 in the 1K.
Yeah.
They were shocked.
2:18 for a 1 kilometre.
Everyone was
calm
keen
down,
to
it's
get
not-
that going on the treadmill.
Yeah. It's not that fast. You just ran one of them. It's not like you did 2 or 3 kilometres of that.
I reckon most treadmills would be able to go 2:18 pace.
Nah, that'd be dangerous.
That would feel insane on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You'd be terrified.
So we're well under the 2-minute mark now for the lads on the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 athletes plus a pacemaker.
I think this field ranges from about 154 to about that 158 mark.
Peter Holland from Doncaster in the middle of the track next to the pacer in the yellow singlet. Well, 3 yellow singlets, but between the red singlets, should I say?
Between both red singlets.
Yeah.
Finn Russell also got the red of Old Xavier there.
On your marks.
And
Long hold there.
Finn Russell from Old Xaverians in the red and black singlet is the second fastest seed time of the athletes, but it is we have Peter Holland of Doncaster, our fastest seeded athlete, followed by Finn Russell from Old Xaverians,
Duarte in there as well.
Duarte.
They've gone out hard, 26 seconds. Maybe Ernest would have fitted better in this race.
Yeah, exactly. And Hamish Bayliss from Deakin is making his way around Russell and Holland to slip in just behind the pacemaker. Wonder what time the pacer is going through in, maybe a 56, 57. As Bayliss says, oh, maybe even that's a bit too slow. Let's take it from here to go around 55, 56 second. So Bayliss, Holland, Russell, Duarte.
Matheson and Turano in there next. No one's out of it, even Turano. If he can get moving down the back straight, he can pick off some people. Finn Russell looking like he's ready to make some moves, try and gain on Bayliss here. Holland's going to have to hang in there. He's got a good kick, so if he's there with 100 to go, I'd back him. So too Duarte. He's a smooth mover. And he's just going to sit there in the middle of the pack, ready to go. And look at this.
We're liking Russell, aren't we?
Turano also trying to make some moves.
The Old Xaverian athlete in the red and black uniform, getting up on the shoulder of Bayliss. As he kicked too early, Taranto come from the sky, come from the heavens, and drop down onto the track here at Duncan MacKinnon Reserve. He's doing his best to charge towards the finish line, but it's too late. Finn Russell is get away with the win. 5, 10, 15 metre lead on the field.
155.
Taranto, great run. So 155 by Russell.
He's battled through a
Taranto
stress fracture
and
last
Bayliss.
year, and he's back with a bang in the last half of this track season. So very impressive running from Finn Russell. Timed it to perfection.
Absolutely. Jeff Risley coached, I believe, Finn Russell. Huge run.
He does train with the big dogs, with Justin Rinaldi and crew.
Oh, there
down
you
at
go.
Princess Park. Elite company there. Peter Bowl, Joe Dang, Mathis, Risley.
Few names. Few names to mention. Soon we'll be saying Russell, Finn Russell.
Not a bad squad to tell your mates that you train with. Everyone knows Peter Bowl and Joe Dang.
Well, now.
After the last few seasons.
Now they do. Now that you got his GQ photo shoot, everyone knows Pete Bowl. Outside of athletics anyway.
We're up to the first of the A races for the night. The women's A 800 metres. So we see the athletes make their way out onto the start line.
Okay, women's A, 800 metres. So there is a cash incentive here for...
I mean, there's always a cash incentive for every race.
Yeah.
Even the KJ races. You never know.
Well, yeah, there will be one of the 1,500 metre races later this evening. Will be the Dash for Cash. So we'll bring that up when it comes. If they run under 204... So 204 is the time. They'll snag $125. Under 203, 250, and under 202, $500. Ooh. So with the athletes on the track now, well, we've got Amy Robinson. She's the highest seeded athlete. She raced the 1,000 metres the other night. Very, very impressive race. So she's probably the most likely of the pack to do it. Her seed time's 205. So she sets a race up well for herself and improves that by a second. She'll walk away with $125. Improves it by 2 seconds, 250. So we'll watch the clock there. See if she goes through in that 60, 61 seconds first lap. Set herself up well.
Got no pacemaker, so they're going to have to go out hard if they want to get on track for a good time here. And
Shani Landon from Maccabee Athletics. She is just on the inside of Robinson in the blue, but Declan Tanner from Mornings Peninsula on the very inside of the track gets out strong. And as we said, Robinson, she is the highest seeded athlete. She's got out fastest. She'll have to do it all herself, though, if she wants to run a fast time tonight. She's going to give it an absolute crack.
29 through the first 200. So she's not holding back.
Sky Alice
nicely
in second position. Shani Landon still getting up on Sky Alice's shoulder now, saying, nah, should be a little bit ahead of you, I think. And Amy Robinson, all eyes down the front straight. It's Amy versus the rest tonight. So we'll be looking at a clock for Amy Robinson. We're not expecting her to fade in the later stages. She's a class runner as she goes through 60 seconds in that first lap. She only needs 63, 64 to collect some cash in that second lap. Landon second, Alice third, Matisse Lazari from Essendon in fourth position, and Cleo Richardson and Declan Tanner to follow. But keep our eyes on the clock for Amy Robinson. She goes through 600 metres.
Not slowing down at all.
She's not slowing down. She needs to go through in about 132, 133, and she might just hold on for some incentive bonuses.
There we go, 131, so she's right on pace for the incentives. We've been talking about it for a few races now. We could see someone snag it here. So Amy Robinson backing up after the 1K at Box Hill Burn. She's going to kick away here. Does she have the strength to hold on for the sub 204? It'd be very impressive on her own after the 1K as well. Lactic in the legs, you can see it on her face here. She's battling on hard.
Is she smiling or grimacing?
Oh, it's going to be close. The Kipchoge expression on her face, and she's just going to miss it. 205. A solo 205. Landon comes over the top for second there. And then Richardson and Ellis and Hill, I believe. So.
Strong run, just out of the money, but still a very strong run, backing up from the 1K the other night from Amy Robinson.
On her own as well.
Yeah,
very tough to do. Someone to push her till the end.
Without a pacemaker.
Fresh legs as well. Jeez, around that 202, 203 mark.
You could see at the end. I still can't tell if that was a grimace or a smile at the end.
She knew she was going to be close, but
yeah,
she was hurting as well.
Okay, now the men on the track next. They'll need to run under a 149.5 to get that incentive, get that bonus of $125. Under 148.5 to get $250, or under 147 to get $500. Considering,
can basically guarantee that they're going to be going for the World Junior Qualifier here. I'm not sure if it's 150. That's what it was a few years ago, but I think they moved it to 151. So
who are some of the juniors in this race? Mitchell Langbourne.
So Josh Tram, Mitch Langbourne, Wolfgang Kotronomisi, and yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully the likes of Pike, Lonergan, and Scott can drag these guys through. Jake Stevens as well on the inside. He's been up at altitude in Canberra and
doing
Perisher.
That project up there, Perisher.
So he'll be in shape.
Yeah, and Felix Lonergan paced the 1,000 metres the other night for, I think it was about 500 metres, as long as he can, pacing Pete Bowl around.
I think Pete Bowl went through 800 in about 149 or 148, so Lonergan would have been probably quicker than that pace for that first lap.
Yeah, for the first lap, yeah.
Probably about a 53.
He has to do it for a bit longer tonight.
On your mark.
All right, and it was probably Langbourne from Keele St Bernard's on the inside. He's got a pretty good start. Wolfgang Nemesi in the black and white just on the outside started strong as well. And Jake Stevens, the athlete mentioned, who's been training up at altitude from Mornings Peninsula, settles in the middle of the pack. Matty Goff from Glenn Huntley, and as we mentioned, Felix Lonergan, who paced the race the other night, is right in the mix. As they just bunch up slightly, Mitchell Langbourne says, no, I'm not so keen on leading into the wind, actually, as Wolfgang Nemesi leads the field around Izak.
They're not going out at a blistering pace. No pacemakers or anyone who's super keen to send it. As I say that, though, Pike's going to make a move, and Wolfgang and Josh Tram look like they're going to try and sit in. So too Langbourne in there and Goff as well. So 54, 55 through the bell, and it is on. All of a sudden, it just picked up.
That
Pike's
needed to
decided
happen,
to get
didn't
a
it?
move on. Goff sitting in nicely. Wolfgang is going to have to keep this pace up right until the end if he wants that 151. Josh Tram in there as well, and now we see Jake Stevens getting ready to go. He's got the strength from altitude training. Josh Tram moving nicely. So too Mitch Langbourne. Geez, they're moving wide in the middle of the pack, but up front it's all Adam Pike and Matt Goff.
I'm so impressed by Matt Goff. He's run 6 races this season, 6 PBs. Is he going to get his first A-race win here tonight at Milers Club?
Looks
As
like
he
he
gets on the
might.
shoulder of the experienced Adam Pike. Matty Goff from Glenn Huntley as Langbourne. We see in the back of the screen from Keyless and Berners charging around. Josh Tram doing his best. Contra Messi is in the mix as well. Pike. Does Matty Goff get his first A-race win on his home track? Or is Wolfgang Contra Messi going to spoil the party from Langbourne?
I think Langbourne
So
on the dip.
152, 153, so the times aren't going to matter as much, but what a race up the front of the field.
The Wesley teammates. Jeez. I think Langbourne will look at the replay here. From our angle up in the commentary box, it looked like he just had the dip. Oh, I think he has just out-edged.
Oh, what a race.
Wolfgang, maybe.
And Stevens came through pretty strong as well in 4th position. Did not even see that.
Very strong. That was like the
That
Melbourne
was a
Cup.
race. That was a race. Race of the night, I'd say, just from the close finish.
Very impressive finish there. Everyone was in it right until the end. They went out quick for that first 200, and then no one really wanted to lead. And it kind of just settled in for 150 metres until Pike just went bang. And
that
hit
was
the front
a bit of the awkward space in the race that kind of probably cost them that couple of seconds. Thank God for Adam Pike. Just sort of putting the foot on the gas for a little bit there, but maybe a bit, well, not too late, but it just wasn't happening tonight, I guess, for the boys.
We'll let you know the official results as soon as they're up. The ASVIC Result Hub is very efficient. Already got the women's A race up. Amy Robinson, 205.83. Shania Langton, 208.04. And Bridie Hill, 212.93.
So the men's H 1500 metres. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Mitch Langbourne has taken the win. Results already up.
152.86, and Wolfgang Contra Messi will probably be 152.9 something, I'd imagine.
Let's have a look. Yeah, very close finish there. As we move away from the 800s into the 1500s.
I've got about a 5-minute break on the track as the timekeepers set themselves up for the 1500 metres. We'll be back here with you in a few minutes.
So we're ready to go in the first of our 1500s for the night, the men's H 1500 metres. First of 12 1500 metres, concluding with the men's A at 9:03. Got a field of 14 here. Looks like we've got most of them. Packed start line. Plenty of our regulars in here, such as Dimtrenko and Imbriano. So we're off and running in the first 1500 metres of the night. Looks like our Mentone athlete there, Lachlan Fulton, going to go out hard. So too our Doncaster athlete. Looks like that's Tariko Nachev. So Nachev's going to go into the lead. Fulton's going to sit behind him. We've got our Deakin athlete Robert Jones sitting in third. So Nachev's going to put about a 5-10 metre gap on the rest of the field. Everyone else is just going to stick together. Looks like we've got a barefoot athlete at the back of the pack as well from Mornington. That's interesting. That might be Rob Newling. But it's all Nachev out front. He's not afraid to go for it. We've seen a bit of front running tonight already. And Nachev's going to go through in about 53 for that first 300. So he's moving nicely. Fulton's going to lead that chase pack with Robert Jones from Deakin. See if he can make the drive from Geelong worth it. It's a good night for running. Not too warm, not too cold. Good conditions here at Duncan MacKinnon. The sun starts to set. Nachev, he's still got about 20 metres on the field, so he's not going to stretch it. He's just happy to be out there on his own. Fulton is going to play the long game here. He's going to slowly try and work his way up. Robert Jones is going to go with him. Got a mover from the back of the pack. Looks like that's Imbriano. It's all Nachev though from Doncaster. 600 metres in and he's still leading. No one's too keen to work up to him. Fulton's just sitting in second there. Zach Sanderson from Williamstown sitting in fourth. He's moving nicely. Imbriano behind him. Then it looks like Sam Shaw making a move around the outside now. But it's all Nachev. No one wants to move up to him. He's just going to run this on his own. As we come up to 800 here, we'll see what the split is. He's moving nicely. Doesn't look like he's struggling too much. The gap is growing. It's out to about 45, 50 metres now. So it's all Nachev with Fulton behind him and then Robert Jones.
Sorry, Izak, I couldn't get you any food. I had to rush back here because Rob is racing. Rob is on the track. He's from Mornington Peninsula and he's not wearing his shoes.
I did mention that.
He forgot his shoes again.
He forgot them.
He forgot them again.
Surely he's got runners, though.
Well, yeah, surely. Surely you'd go to work in the morning knowing that you're racing in the evening and you'd bring your shoes, even if it is only 3 3/4 laps. But he's done it again. He's gone and done it again.
The live chat's getting
Rob's
around
forgotten
him.
his shoes.
Barefoot Rob, Mitch, Rob. He's excited. Everyone is. But out front, we should be excited for Nachev. He's looking comfortable. He's looking smooth, just gliding down the home straight here. He's going to collect the bell here. 3:31 on the clock. We'll see what the rest of the field comes through in. Sam Shaw, 3:37. So 6-second difference between first and second here. Jones and Fulton and Imbriano next. And then we've got Eugene Nemesis from Collingwood. But out front, it's old Tariku Nachev from Doncaster. He's been leading from the start. No one has made any attempts to get close to him until now, as we see Sam Shaw starting to make moves. Barefoot Rob is battling on towards the back of the field.
He's not battling as much as he did in that other race, though, because now he's got experience. He knows what to expect.
Can't tell if he's battling the pain of his feet or the pain of running, but
he's rolling now, Barefoot Rob. Don't you worry. We can see him off camera, and Rob he's running quick.
But out front, Sam Shaw, he has closed the gap on Nachev. Does Nachev have anything left? And oh, yes, he does. He sends Sam Shaw, and geez, that's just cruel. He's let Sam Shaw do the work to catch up, and now he's burst away to win it in 4:43. Very impressive running there, and he's excited. Look at him.
He's gone for a victory lap, I reckon.
Keep running. Why not? Take a win, celebrate hard.
Oh, and a bit of insight on YouTube is someone's been told that every extra 100 grams is 1% faster. So if Rob sort of loses his 250, 300 gram shoes, well, he's going to break 5 minutes, which he hasn't done tonight.
He's
but
close.
That was the speculation in the YouTube as Barefoot Rob crosses the line in 5:13. Hopefully that was a few percent better than his last performance when he was wearing shoes.
Look at him. He's happy. He's clapping.
Rob. So good for the sport.
Fist bumps for Rob. Jeez, I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
No, I wouldn't.
Barefoot 1500 and max effort 1500, not even a jog.
Yeah, I ripped my plantar off my bone. I don't know, that's...
I would have no skin on the bottom of my feet. Blisters galore.
You do that.
You wouldn't be able to run in shoes again because it would just hurt too much after that.
Okay, men's G, 1,500 metres, 16 runners on the start list, and looks like a big chunk of them on the line. And seed times between 4:45 and 4:54, so they probably won't be as spread out as the previous race, as we see once the events get rolling on the timetable.
So it's going to be our Glenn Huntley athlete, one of the three in this field, going straight to the front on the home track. He knows how to run here. They're going to go through the first 100 in about 16 seconds, so they're moving nicely. Try and get a read on the hip number as they come around. Also, looks like our invitational athlete, maybe James Hall, moving into the lead now. Got our Xavier and Mornington Peninsula athletes closely following the leaders here. And yeah, as you said, not as spread apart as that last race. So they're spread out nicely so that no one's going to get clipped, but they are all still in it so that they've got people to push them. we've got a pack of 4 breaking away early here. I believe that's James Hall, Cameron Marshall, Mark Rainey. I'll try and get a read on the Bendigo athlete there. Looks like that's Mason Woodward as they come through in about 73 seconds through the first 400 metres. So they're moving nicely. Field is separated into small packs. Marshall looks like he's going to try and run this race on his own. He's going to stretch away from the field here. If all the athletes behind him, though, I'd try and just get on the heels, because there's no point being a few metres behind if you're just going to run at the same pace or similar. You may as well be right up there. So
that is true. I think about that all the time in races or training, like sitting that 10 metres back, but you're holding that 10 metre gap.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just get up on the heels of them, running that same distance anyway.
It's a mental game. You've just got to, once you lose contact, it's so much harder to get back on. So you've just got to try and stay on the whole time. And already we can see this field is spread apart. So they're all moving nicely on track for PBs, I'm sure. As you said, the slowest seed time was, what, 4:54?
Yeah, 4:44 or 4:54.
Well, they went out at about 4:30 pace, and just
they or Cameron Marshall did?
Well,
because he's absolutely leading the way.
They
in
were
this
together
race.
a lap ago, and now Cameron Marshall's put a gap in the field. Marshall's on track for about a 4:35. The rest of the field probably around that 4:40 mark. So they're moving nicely.
I like the pack that's forming in behind Marshall, though, and he still has 1,000 metres to run. Should I say 1,000? He still has 500 metres to run, 600 metres to run. But I don't mind the pack that's forming behind him. Mason Woodward from Bendigo. I believe that's James Hall of Spicer Track Club leading him out. The 2 boys from Western Athletics in Oscar Burt and Matthew Massara, forming a nice little posse there. But, yeah, Cameron Marshall is looking pretty strong out front. 1 lap to go. Got a gap of about 40-odd metres, but I don't know. Who knows? A couple of Glenn Huntley boys in Mark Rainey and Jamie Rostron, James Gibbs, all in the mix in there as well. So it could be George Fowler who was in that next position there. And I reckon George Fowler is starting to bridge that gap between the leader in Cameron Marshall. Mason Woodward from Bendigo I reckon he's just holding on there as Matthew Massara from Western Athletics is getting up on the heels of Woodward. And George Fowler, is he going to spoil the party tonight for Cameron Marshall?
Marshall's led it from pretty much gun to tape. We've seen some gun to tape wins already tonight. Can we see another? Fowler, he's ready to go. He's just slowly closed the gap. He's played the long game and been patient. And now 100 to go. Does Cameron Marshall have anything left? He's going to dig deep here. So too Fowler. Geez, this is going to be a close battle just like that 800 metres. And coming from the clouds, I think that might be...
one of our invitational athletes.
I think that was James Hall, maybe.
Who has absolutely surprised us.
James Hall, I think that was who flew from the clouds. Very impressive running there.
So I don't want to take the attention too much off this race here, but for those of you who are watching and engaging in the in the YouTube comments here and are fascinated by Barefoot Rob, no, we don't have an interview for you. I'm sorry, but we've been sent through a few fun facts about Barefoot Rob, someone who does know who he is. First of all, I think the best fact is that he's genuinely the best bloke in athletics, and he's a master at deflecting the attention off himself and pumping up other people. So I absolutely love that for Rob. There's like 6 different points here, but I think I'll only mention just one more. Word for word. He rocked up to Frankston Park Run a couple of weeks ago, barefoot, like a real rough surface. He had genuinely forgotten his runners, but he didn't run. So he does forget his shoes sometimes. he does back that up and say quite often he does run in minimal cushioning footwear, or he'll just go barefoot, or he just decided the night. But rolls up to Frankston Park Run and forgot his shoes. And then made the call not to run.
That was
so he's not as loose as we thought.
It's a bit like Harry Summers used to run in the
Vibrams, the five fingers.
Yeah. He ran a sub-8 3K in them down at Box Hill.
Different horses for different courses, so to speak. Whatever works for you, I guess.
If he's done it for a while, his feet will have toughened up.
100%.
If you or I were to do it, we would definitely face the consequences.
It's like the whole Nike Free barefoot running thing back in 2010 when you were like 6 years old or something. when they came out, then everyone's going, wear the Nike Frees. They're great for running. They're great for strengthening your calves. And there's people doing all their running in them. And it's great for injuring your calves.
It's basically running in flats all the time.
Great for strengthening your calves if you do it slowly and build it up over time. You can sort of adapt to anything, roads. I guess. Yeah, 100%. But that was the absolute trend back there as we see the first of our women's 1,500 metre races on the track. So that will be our women's D 1,500 seed times ranging between 15:15 and 6:43. So a bit of a spread here. Plenty of athletes between that 15:15 and 15:30 though. So about a minute and 24 seconds per lap should see them get through in about that 15:10 to 15:15. A couple of Glenn Huntley athletes are highest seeded, Poppy Donaldson and Ruby Donaldson. So the sisters there.
Looks like one of them's out front here. See if we can get a read on that hip number as she comes around. Rest of the field about 15-20 metres back.
Seems one of the sisters is not racing tonight. Okay, both the sisters aren't racing tonight.
So it looks like that's... Ooh.
Oh no, it's Poppy Donaldson. There's Poppy Donaldson in the lead. Now athlete from Collingwood, Nikki Semetitis in second position. So Poppy Donaldson, Semetitis in second. Sorry if I butchered that second name.
They're right on about 5 minute pace at the moment. So it's a good pace. We'll see if they can hold it. It'll be tough doing it solo from the front, trying to lead guns to tape.
Always
you never know, though. We've seen some people come from the clouds so far tonight. So someone could make a move from the back of the pack and push these leaders in the latter stages of the race.
As we said, it's a little bit breezy here at Duncan MacKinnon. It's not too bad, but there is a bit of a breeze, bit of a flutter in the leaves and in the trees that we're seeing out here. The early leader hasn't been favoured so far tonight, I've got to say. It has not been the trend or the story of the evening. So Poppy Donaldson, the field is starting to close on Poppy.
Got another Glenn Huntley athlete.
And that's
making her way around.
Oh, is that Sister Ruby? No. That is Alexandra Anthony, who is the invitational athlete wearing the Glenn Huntley kit. He's getting up on the heels of Semetitis.
Still Donaldson out front, just falling off that 5 minute pace. So about 2:48 through the 800 metres. So around that 5:10, 5:15 pace probably.
So Anthony is closing the gap and she'll look past Donaldson on the back straight here. So Anthony, Donaldson, Semetitis is still in the mix as well. Joanne Pratt from Casey Cardinia, she's moving away into fourth position and is likely to take third position off Semetitis any moment now, with about 500 metres to run in this 1,500 metre race. Anthony Donaldson's not going to let Anthony just take the lead and run away with it. She's sort of holding strong in second position, but Anthony is looking good. She's looking powerful out front.
Yeah, she's just going to try and move away here as she comes up to collect the bell. Probably going to miss the 5-minute mark. She's going to come through in 3:49, so she's moving along nicely.
Yeah, she runs that final lap in a minute 25 seconds, and she'll collect a PB here tonight, Anthony.
And geez, if she keeps up this pace, she should be on track to run a minute 25 for this lap. She's moving very quickly. All of a sudden, the gap between her and Donaldson is out to about 40 metres. And she's continuing to pick it up, just effortlessly down the back straight. Donaldson is hanging on nicely, though, for second. She did all the work early. But Anthony out front.
Huge win now. She's well and truly striding out. She's got a lead of about 100 metres on the rest of the field.
Going to be close to that 5-minute mark. Probably going to be around the 5:05, 5:10. So she's definitely negative split this. Kicked home hard in this last 500 metres. And oh, geez. Just misses the 5 minutes. So about 5:01, about a 72-second last lap.
It's huge close.
Very impressive. So we see the rest of their field making their way into the home straight now. But Donaldson will have to settle for third place there.
So men's F 1500 metres is on the track now. 15 athletes on the start line.
Name of the night here, number 10, Charles De Castella.
Oh, Deeks.
Wonder what he can run.
That's a name. That's a name to mention.
Also got Mark Hipworth doubling up after the 800. I think he's done that at all the Milers Club meets this season.
The dirty double. Bit of training. So 4:30 down to 4:42. 4:30s is 1 minute and 12 seconds per lap. 72 second laps. So 1 minute 12, 2:24, 3:36, and then closing, well, just closing faster, I guess, to get you under.
Anything faster than a 54.
Yeah.
It is a hard distance to call splits for. You don't know if you mark it at the first 300 and then every lap, or after one lap and then...
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
split.
I like to go from that start line. You do your 400 splits and then you try and, whatever split your last 300. You just confuse me otherwise.
A few athletes looked like they were ready to go there, but rest of the field looking pretty relaxed. Here we go.
Oh, I thought a couple of the athletes behind were in this race and they just didn't move up to the start line. It's like, no, they're just waiting for theirs or waiting for the next one maybe.
So Aiden Ford from Keilor St Bernard's is going to fly to the lead.
Yeah, he ain't wasting any time.
14-second first 100 metres. He's doing what Mitch Langbourne did from his club back at the state champs a few years ago when he opened a 1500 in a 56-second first lap. Aiden Ford, he's not holding back. He's gone for it. So 30 seconds to that first 200. The rest of the field already strung out behind him.
I was about to say the athlete from Glen Huntly, but there's always a number of Glen Huntly athletes in these Milers Club races.
I think that's Jack Mitchell sliding into second there. So it's Mitchell, then Chris Winter, then our South Melbourne athletes, and our Melbourne Uni athlete.
So Ford, Mitchell, they go through that first lap in like 68, 69 seconds. So the bulk of the pack goes through in that 72 or under. So they're all setting themselves up.
In fact, that may be Will Orchard sitting in third for Glen Huntly. As you said, there's so many Glen Huntly athletes out here tonight.
Will Orchard, you reckon?
Believe so.
So Ford, Mitchell, will go with Orchard. From South Melbourne is... could be our invite athlete there.
I think he's got the little ass singlet on.
Yeah,
which is good to see.
Just throwing us off. So, I think every race, apart from Amy Robinson, who led early, but most of the races, if you sort of lead early, bit dangerous. Hopefully for Aiden Ford, he can hold it together as he rolls into almost the 800-metre mark. So far, he's holding pretty strong. He's looking solid, but...
We saw Nachev hold it from start to finish. As he was about to get past, he just found something in that last 100 to kick away. So it's not a bad tactic. Wait for them to catch you. Let them use all their energy.
Hold on.
Get their hopes up and then just go bang.
2:25 for 2 laps. So 72 seconds still. The second pack just over that 72-second pace for 4:30. But I do like that second pack is a pack. 1, 2, 3, 4 athletes all on the job to chase Aiden Ford up the back straight. Looks
like Carl Schaap's going to try and attach himself to that next pack. And then the Mornington athlete is going to try and bring that third pack up to the second pack. So they're on track for sub 4 here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll be able to hold that.
Might be a bit ambitious in this heat. I'm more interested. I haven't even mentioned the time because I'm interested in the dash. I'm interested in... the tactics, who's going to be moving around, who's going to be waiting for the right time. So far, Benjamin Stevens knows the dash is up. It's our athlete from Melbourne University, Nicholas Dennis, who has just made his way up onto the heels of Stevens, putting himself in every position, every chance to be dashing for that cash in the final stages.
There's no clock at the finish line here, and that could be a good thing for a dash for cash because you don't want to be putting a lot of emphasis on time. You just want to be racing to win. So when there's no clock, you just run off feel, and sometimes that ends up being best. So they're going to come through 700 and 155 here. So they have fallen off that 4-minute pace. But you never know. It's a dash for cash. We could see some insane kicks for the money.
Yeah.
And you could see a 204 last 800 in the E-race or the 1500.
Don't go that crazy.
Who knows? Anything for the $100.
Jackson Wright is sitting in third position. I like the way he's running. The athlete in the all-black kit. He's an invitational athlete. And if this is his first run as part of an Athletics Victoria event, well, I mean, what a run if he comes away with $100 cash.
Can pay for his club fees for next season.
Yeah,
for the cross-country season.
Put it towards it anyway.
It's a long-term investment, this race.
Yeah. So Benjamin Stevens still in the mix. He slips down in the third position. Jackson Wright in the all-black kit in fourth. Ty Davis in fifth. And we have Nicholas Dennis from Melbourne University sitting into second. But he's our athlete from Wendouree who leads the way around in Jacob Cheeseman. So Jacob Cheeseman, Nicholas Dennis. I'm still liking the way that Dennis is running. In second, Jackson Wright, Benjamin Stevens, and Ty Davis. They are your top five. It's going to be one of these five who will take home the cash, and we have a race on our hands.
The crowd erupts as they come through to collect the bell. 300 metres to go. This is anybody in that top five's race.
Cheeseman, Dennis, Davis. They are your top three. Wright, Stevens, and Dennis. I said I like the way he's running. And straight away, within 10 metres, he gets a gap of 5. Davis was running strong from the very start. He was waiting. He was saving energy. And now he's moved his way into second position as Dennis looks over his left shoulder on the inside of the track. See if anyone's chasing him. Anyone's closing a gap, and no one is so far. Ty Davis is doing his best to make him work for it. Wright is right there on Davis as well, but it is Nicholas Dennis who will take home the cash, the clean, crisp $100 bill that Crosby is waving at the finish line for him. And he's going to collect it in the dash for cash, and he's going to collect a nice little PB as well. Nicholas Dennis, Ty Davis, Wright, Stevens, Cheeseman. That'll be your top five. Atchison in 6 from Mornington Peninsula. Whew, what a dash. One of them won the cash.
It was a good finish there. Too strong in the end. Oliver Evans coming through under 4:30. Not bad after 38 Ks of riding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, too bad he couldn't win the cash to put it towards his charity, but hopefully he's raised a lot of money tonight or today.
Yeah, Dennis, he reminds me of Jake Liam-Smith, the British half and full marathon runner. Not sure why. He was just...
Got that vibe, you reckon?
Yeah, had the similar action. Probably had better wheels than Jake. Jake's not afraid to admit that he can't sprint.
So 9 athletes in the women's C 1500. A bit of a small field.
Missing 4.
Actually.
It's meant to be 13.
So the athletes' names up on screen, as we said, 13 listed, 9 on the track. PBs ranging from 5 to 5:10, so it should be a little good race. If the athletes are sort of running to their potential, they'll be finishing within about 50 metres of each other. We know that doesn't always happen, but running at that pace, 1 minute 20 per lap, that is 10 seconds in 50 metres. Or 50 metres in 10 seconds, and that's the spread of the times for the field. So pretty easy to count those laps down. Minute 20, 2:40, 4 minutes, and then closing in 1 minute for the last 300 metres.
3:20 pace has got to be the easiest pace, splits-wise.
Splits-wise, not to actually run.
Not to actually run, but splits-wise, just
3:20 pace, easiest pace to run. Yeah, do it for a marathon then. Sam Prime leading the way. Love seeing Sam Prime run. Cassandra Seapen is in second position, the athlete from Melbourne University. And our Mentone runner in Celestine DeBarge Tamai. DeBarge Tamai. Just have to roll that off the tongue one more time, because hopefully we'll be saying it lots more in the next 3 laps. So Sam Prime, followed by Cassandra Seepin, Celestine
quicker than
DeBarge
320
Tamai.
pace. 55 through that first 300 for Sam Prime. Rest of the field bunched up behind there. Prime
Probably
seems happy to
expected.
lead.
You always run that first lap a little bit hot in the 1500s, I find.
Yeah.
Pretty common. Well, there you go. Spot on. Maybe a second under. Bit of time up their sleeves. Yeah, what a bunch. We said they would be separated by no more than 50 metres if everything goes plan in the final stages. Only one athlete in this event has dropped off the pace so far. And it's a good pace that Sam Prime is setting. An experienced runner. Knows how to run. Smart runner. Sandra Seepin is, I reckon she's itching to pass, but doesn't want to pass on the bend, or is enjoying the sit that she's got behind Prime. Annabelle Coleman from Odds of Variance. Don't mind the way she's running as well. Running a little bit wide, but she's looking comfortable.
Yeah, Seepin does look like she's just happy to be sitting there and save up her kick, because she doesn't seem to be showing any signs of strain on her face or in her form. So she's just going to let Sam Prime do the work out front.
Yeah.
Got DeBarge Tamai sitting in third there, right on the outside, and then the Xavier athlete, Coleman.
And Emily Dalziel, the invite athlete, is in third position now, just tucked on the inside of our Mentone runner. And, she's fourth position now, should I say. But she's been tucked in nicely this whole race. She'll be getting a nice little sit, Emily Dalziel. And she is trying to make her way around, actually, now. She's out in lane 2 in the blue crop top. Check out that. Celestine DeBarge Tamai has taken the lead from Sammy Prime. Dalziel into Seepin and Annabelle Coleman. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have split the pack open with about 500 metres to go. So the train carriages have split into 2.
In the space of 100 metres, the race has been blown apart.
And I'll tell you what, if this was a dash for cash, I mean, what a close we've got anyway, but if they're running for the cash, what a setup there we have. And actually, I was about to say those 2 packs have absolutely split, but they haven't. They've been drawn back together. So Dalziel, should I say, Sam Prime.
She's not out of it. 340 at the bell. They're right on the 320 pace.
She said, give me a bit of a rest.
Pacing.
Exactly. So 1 minute and 20 seconds to close to get under that magical 5-minute barrier. Dalziel wants it. Sam Prime has done it before, but she wants to do it again. Seepin was running strong all race. She put herself in a great position, but now Prime and Dalziel are just making their gap further and further on the rest of the field. Dalziel and Prime ahead of Seepin and Coleman. And Prime, she's led most of the way, had a bit of a rest in second, third position for about a lap, and now just putting the burners on, going 2, 3, 4, 5 metres ahead of Dalziel.
She's still on track for the sub-5. Can she do it? She's going to have to keep this up right till the end. She's got to put the head down and go with 100 metres to go.
And we said the field
Sam
would
Prime
be...
blows them apart.
So Sam Prime, Seepin, Dalziel, they'll be a 1, 2, 3. What a run. And closing in under 5 minutes for Sam Prime, Seepin and Dalziel. PBs all round.
And Lonsdale just going to be on the border there. Maybe going under 5 minutes. It looked like she was right on the edge, but 3 or 4 athletes there going under 5 minutes. Impressive running.
It's always nice to get that 5-minute barrier. Any of those arbitrary barriers, just like a number. But it's like, no, need to get under 5 minutes, need to get under 6 minutes, need to get under 2.5 minutes, whatever it is. It's like those athletes like those even numbers.
And you remember when you did them, when you finally were able to break the barriers.
So a bit of a bigger field here. Men's D, 1,500 metres. 6 races left. So we have the men's DCBA, ABCD, and the women's A and B. So 6 events left. About 45 minutes left of Milers Club action for the season.
What a season it's been. Plenty of World Under 20 qualifiers. Heaps of PBs. And getting to the pointy end of things now. No matter what happens here tonight, race of the Milers Club series has to be Steve Deneen's 3,000 metres.
Yeah.
Came from the clouds.
Yeah. That was unreal, and didn't he love it? Yeah, that was so good.
We're often racing in the men's D 1,500 metres. Hudson Bucci's going to get out hard to not get boxed in. It's tough getting hip number 1 in the 1,500 metres. But he's done well. You can see Charlie Chandler up there as well. And we do have a pacemaker in this one. So he has gone out pretty hard, but he'll settle in now, and hopefully the rest of the pack just settles in nicely behind him. Bucci there. Got Charlie Chandler. Try and get a read of the hip numbers as they come around. So it looks like Jacob Sprunt from Chewells sitting in 3rd. Angus McAfee behind him. We've got our Scotch runner in Harrison Carr with 1R.
Okay, and seed times ranging between 4:04 and 4:09. So about 65-second laps, I'd assume the pace is going to be setting them up for 64s, even if they're a bit ambitious.
Looks like they're going to go through right on 64, so on track for that 4-minute pace. It's our Hunter athlete, hit number 5, Liam Coughlin, moving around. Just a nice singlet, Hunter Athletics one.
Yeah, don't mind them. Very aesthetically pleasing.
It's all Hudson Bucci out front, sitting right behind the pacemaker. Charlie Chandler is sitting nicely in 2nd in what looks like the Bowerman Dragonflies.
Special editions.
See if they can make him run as fast as the Bowerman Track Club. He's been running some insane times over in the US, and I'm sure Charlie Chandler will be hoping that he can run something special tonight. He's looking very comfortable. Him and Bucci, I reckon, will stretch away from this field over the next few hundred metres. We'll see how far the pacer goes here. He's looking pretty comfortable. Looks like he's going to pick it up a bit. So he may be looking to pull off the track now as he comes through 800 in about 2:12. So it has slowed a bit there.
But you know what? I was looking at the wrong the wrong seed times for this event, and they're probably not going to be too disappointed if they run 4:09 or under, because that's the fastest seed time of this race. So 67.68s if they're under. So 2:15 for the first 800 would have set them up quite nicely. So be under that puts them in a pretty good position. So Bucci still in the lead ahead of Charles Chandler.
Coughlin sitting nicely in 3rd there. Got 2 athletes in no man's land. They're going to have to try and cling on to that lead pack as these 3 start to wind it up. Bucci's going to try and make it a long run for home. If you're going to lead, you've got to make it tough for the people behind you, and that's what he's going to try and do. As they come up to get the bell, Hudson Bucci, Charlie Chandler, and Liam Coughlin. It's a 3-man race. About 3:03 through the bell. Going to be around that 4:05 to 4:10 mark here, so this is quick running from these boys. Hudson Bucci did run in the 5K at Box Hill Burn, so he's got mileage in the legs, 3:20 through 1200, and he's going to pick it up again. Charlie Chandler he's been stalking him all race. Liam Coughlin's moved through the pack nicely, and it's these 3, they're going to pull away from the field. Charlie Chandler, he's tried to make moves throughout the race, but every time Hudson's been able to respond, and 200 to go, 3:37 on the clock, and it's a I don't know if I want to call Liam Coughlin out of it, but it does look like these 2 out front are going to be the ones to try and kick away Bucci and Charlie Chandler. The crowd is going crazy down here on the home straight. Liam Coughlin's just
Coughlin's
stalking.
not going anywhere.
He hasn't gone anywhere. Does he have the speed? Charlie Chandler's just out of it, but Hudson Bucci, can he respond? It's going to be Liam Coughlin. I counted him out of it, and he's proved me wrong. And look at this,
You've got egg on your face
407,
now.
408 for Bucci and Chandler.
What a run.
McAfee coming through next, and then Andrew Carey. So
it's always fun to make bold claims, but
we've done that a bit tonight.
It is what it is. Coughlin, what a finish.
I was doing it on purpose because I knew I'd give him the commentator's curse and he'd respond.
You only need to lead for 1 metre of the race. You don't need to be leading the whole time. And Liam Coughlin took that philosophy into this run.
It was gutsy from Hudson Bucci. Got stuck in the lead once the pacemaker dropped out, and he did what you got to do. Tried to make it hard for the people behind him. Didn't give him an easy ride to the finish, but just didn't have the wheels in the end there over Coughlin. And Charlie Chandler sat in our race nicely, and I believe that's a PB for him. So well run there as we see another pacer in this next race. I believe that's Matty Goff backing up after his 800.
So men's C. Now this is the event that has a 4:04 to 4:09 C times. So 4:04. 65 second laps.
Logan Tickle, a state medalist in the juniors. He's on the inside there. He'll be one to watch.
Okay, a couple of the young guns from Western Athletics, Kirk
Robert
Shanahan
Weitz.
and Robert Weitz, are going to be holding our Division 2 XCR team together this season. Might even get a sniff in our Div 1 team. That's if our new national 10,000 metre record holder isn't running, of course.
Geez, that'd be handy to have.
Geez, I'm looking forward to Giles Park
and stuff. Usually Stewie's the one who runs away from the field in that last
Stewie, who's
relay
that?
leg. Oh, exactly. Jack Rayner now. He'll be challenging the St. Stephen's crew. But we're not up to cross country yet. We've still got a few races to go in the Milers Club series.
Tell you who my boy is in this race, the athlete from the Day Drinking Track Club in 4th position, 5th position. Okay, maybe he's been drinking too many beers, 6th position.
He keeps slipping back.
I love the singlet. I love the name, the Day Drinking Track Club in all black.
But out front, Matt Goff's going to be the pacer. Good way to shake out the legs after a hard 800. So go through. Ooh, going through in about 28 seconds, so not too far off his 800 pace.
Love that. Confident to back it up. Pacing through training mate in Tom Morris here, who, once again, that whole little squad there has been having a great season down at Glen Huntly, the Seaside Track Club.
Logan Tickle sitting in nicely right behind Goff. He'll be looking to get around that 4-minute mark. I'm not sure if we'll be going for sub. They are on track for it. So if Goff can pace them through nicely, they'll definitely be on track. 63. 400. So we'll see how far Goff goes. I'd imagine he'll go around a K.
Yeah, at least up to 800 metres. It's always a bit hard to see the lap splits, isn't it? We were saying earlier with the long straights and smaller bends here at Duncan MacKinnon, where you got the split or the lap just around the corner from the discus cage rather than right on. Where we're used to. But, Morris sits just behind Goff in training mates. Tickle just behind him, and Robert Weitz from the mighty Western Athletics Club sitting in behind as well. And truly a train here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the carriages just keep going up to the athlete from the Day Drinking Train Club, the Day Drinking Track Club. Maybe I've been day drinking too much. Tom Morris, Tickle, Weitz, Johnny Squires from Melbourne University. They are your top 4. And is Matty Goff going to get them through the first 800 metres in under 2:08? Set him up nicely for a 4-minute. And he does.
2:07 there.
2:06. So just under that pace. Now it's all up to Tom Morris to put in that. It's always that third lap, don't you reckon?
You've got a surge here if you want to have that momentum going into the last lap. You can't leave yourself with too much work to do.
Yeah, it's always that strong third lap. That's where it can sort of, you can make or break it. As Robert Weitz, he ran a strong 1K the other night, and he's getting up onto the heels of Morris because obviously Tickle wasn't doing the job for him. He, as he fades back into the field ever so slightly. He's not done yet, but Johnny Squires does get up on the shoulder of Tickle. the athlete from Melbourne University. So it is Morris, Wheats, but Wheats just itching. He'd be my call in this race.
Squire's moving nicely. So too the Ballarat athlete.
Yeah, athlete from Ballarat here in Darcy Williams, sitting into 4th position. So Williams, Squires, Wheats and Morris will be your top 4 in reverse order. And I think Morris I'd love to see him kick on from here, but he has been doing all the work as they go through 3:13. They're on 4-minute pace here as cheeky Charlie Rogers cheers on his teammate in the background. And Wheats gets up onto the shoulder of Morris. He's been waiting. He's been blocking the wind for him. Wheats from Western Athletics passes Morris. Our athlete from Darcy Williams, I'm liking the way he's moving past Morris, up on the heels of Wheats. There's a lot of running to be done in that final straight, as we said earlier tonight. Is Williams going to get the best of Wheats? Let's see how it all pans out. And Wheats, he's got the burners on, but Williams, has he run the perfect race here? Or is Wheats going to be too quick for him over the final stages? And here's Western Athletics over Ballarat for the win, so he got carried away. As Williams passed in the last metre. That is the worst call of the Milers Club meet season.
Commentators curse to a
Just
team.
put it on mute when you do the cut up those races, please, Locke. That was a shocker. Oh, my God. Got passed on the line.
Right on the
What a race.
mark
I
as
said
well.
he was looking good too. How could I do that? I'm going to drop my microphone for the rest of the night. I'm out. Izak, you can do the rest of the races.
Oh, I haven't been perfect either.
Even though my club mate from Western Athletics, Robert Wheats, got beaten, I like that from Williams. Even though I called Robert Wheats and I said, nah, he hasn't won here.
Jeez,
Williams, I love to see it. I'm happy to be embarrassed. Wow.
What a finish.
I was so excited there. I didn't even see the final time. Did you?
It was right on 4 minutes, I reckon.
Right on 4 minutes.
Let's refresh the ASFIC results hub. Very quick with the results.
Somebody's saying a rare Darcy Williams appearance and the triathlete, so maybe he doesn't run on the track too much.
Ooh.
He should.
Triathletes, they've just got the strength.
Right, now we're getting up to the pointy end, the pointy end.
Finally got the results from the men's A 800 metres, where it was the photo finish between Langbourne and Wolfgang Kochramisi.
If anyone's still watching.
152.86 versus 152.89.
Oh, there you go.
So very close. We'll have to see if that last race was closer.
So women's B 800 metres, 4:42 to 5 minutes here. So probably looking for about 75 second laps. Probably 74 second laps. A minute 14, 2:28. Be their first couple of splits.
So Piper Gay is going to go to the lead here in the women's B 1500 metres. Just a junior, but she's run some big times this season. And already it's a 3-woman race. So it looks like it's Emma De Jong sitting on the shoulder of Piper Gay. Then our Mentone athlete in Kelsey Vickery. So these three already got about 10 metres on the rest of the field. They went through in about 52 for 300 metres. So they're moving very quickly at the moment.
Piper Gay, another athlete who raced the 1,000 metres the other night and did it very well. So going through that first lap in 71, 72 seconds. So that's setting themselves up for about a mid 420, 1,500 metres, which might be a bit hot, but not the worst thing to sort of start off a little bit quick as long as you're comfortable and controlled.
So 130 through 500 metres. So right on 3-minute K pace and 4:30 1500 metre pace. So pack of 5 now. Seeing 2 athletes connect themselves to De Jong, Vickery and Gay. So these 5 going to have to work together.
Gay, Vickery, De Jong, your top 3. A couple of others in the mix as well. And then there's a massive gap. I wonder if anyone from that next pack is going to bridge the gap with 2 laps to go. Vickery, Gay, De Jong. Did you catch the hip number there?
Did not. Couldn't get a read on it.
We'll see over the next lap who these other 2 athletes are. Vickery is looking so good. 227, 228 through the first 2 laps. So they have settled a bit. That's probably more a 76 second lap, which sort of puts them at around 440 pace.
Vickery's going to try and stretch him here. She's picked it up. Wants to keep the pace rolling. Piper Gay's happy just to sit in there. She's run some quick times this season. Wants to go out with a bang here at Milers Club. De Jong also looking pretty comfortable. Might just move around Piper Gay here as Vickery puts in about 2-3 metres on the field as they go through the K in 3:06. So they're on track for sub 440. And Vickery has picked it up, so if she can continue this pace, we could be on for a big last lap here.
Okay, it's Madeline Brunt in 4th position. So the athlete, the invitational athlete in 4th position, Brunt. So Vickery, De Jong, Gay, Brunt. 3:25, 1 lap to go. So if they run around 75 to 80 seconds, they're sort of within the realms of PBs under 4:45. And Vickery is striding out. She's taken De Jong with her as Gay just fades into the distance a little bit. Brunt just taking her on the back straight. Vickery, De Jong. Is Brunt going to bridge that gap? She's closing ever so slightly, but I don't know. Check out De Jong moving up on the shoulder of Vickery.
She's had a good sit all race. Hasn't had to do any of the work until now. She's going to try and make the pass on the bend, which is a bold move. Vickery's not going to let her have it easy. She's going to fight on, but De Jong may just have the goods here. Don't want to... Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, seed times at 4:44, 4:43. We won't call who's going to win. We'll just let it happen, and we'll see if they're going to get under the time. 20 seconds to go. It looks like they might. So De Jong, Vickery, Brunt and Gay, they are your top 4 as De Jong strides out to the finish.
Don't want to say anything yet.
Vickery's not going to get a 4:39, 4:40. So 3 or 4 second PBs there. Piper Gay finishing in 4:43. Equal PB for Gay. Okay, Bucky Smith coming through in that 5th position there. Who gets PB as well. So most of the field through only under 5 minutes. And a couple of PBs out the front of the field anyway. All right. 3 races, 3 events to go. Men's B, Women's A, and Men's A. And hello to the 276 people watching from home. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you're watching here tonight as we round out the last of our Milers Club seasons. We see the Men's B on the track. Ethan McMinimy from Western Athletics lining up. Haven't seen him race for a little while. Finished the end of last season in stellar form.
Huge season last year. Peter Green as well. Haven't seen him out there for a while.
Haven't, you're right. So these athletes will be looking to run pretty quick. 3:57 to 4:01. So you're going through in that 62, 63 second pace. Matthew Buckle has been going from strength to strength this season.
Bendigo boys, Buckle and Boyd, side by side on the start line there. Probably the 2 to watch here, I reckon. Boyd's got the speed as well. He's run a pretty quick 800 this season. I think he ran 156. Rosado's run about a 154 800 though in hip number 3 from Ballarat. A bit of a rough start there. Bodies coming together, but everyone's away cleanly in the end, on their feet still. And Boyd, he doesn't want to take the lead, but he's out front. So no pacer in this race. Maybe Evander Scott out front there. McMinimy. Is this his first race of the season at a Milers Club at least?
I reckon it is. I actually don't remember seeing him race all this season.
Wouldn't have raced a track race since this meet last year.
Yeah, so it could be. What a track race it was, as we see the athlete from Box Hill and Peter Green making his way to the front of the field, thinking maybe it's a bit too slow without a pacemaker tonight. Let me do some work. So Peter Green, we have from Eureka, Izak Rosato in the mix as well. Ethan McMiniman sitting into third position. Matthew Buckle is there. Harrison Boyd. Mentioned all these names at the start of the race, and they go through. Yeah, it was about 65 second first 400, which is a little bit slow if they're sort of looking to be nudging that 4-minute mark.
So Green is gone to the front, but hasn't picked it up too much. 122 through 500, so they're on track for about that 405.
And we see Buckle doing some work now, pushing the pace.
Yeah, Buckle's got a strong cross-country base, so he's definitely going to want this pace to be hot and use that strength towards the end. Rosado, on the other hand, probably wants it to be slow because he's got that 800-metre speed. So we see Alberson and Dubuisson making their way around. Alberson just going to try and sneak up on the inside. Got the Glenn Huntley athlete as well, and then Harrison Boyd making a big move on the outside. The long striding athlete. They go through in about 152, so they've got to move on now. Peter Green's got him back on track for about that 4 flat.
Yeah, his second lap's definitely been much stronger than their first, and it's all due to Peter Green and Matthew Buckle pushing him up front as they go through the first 2 laps in a 2:08. So they're back on that 4-minute pace, even a bit quicker, because I think that lap was, lap was definitely quicker than the first. Tom McFarlane from Glenn Huntley's in the mix as well. Dubuisson from St. Stephen's just fades back, and from Mentone we have Sam Alberson, who is on the heels of Buckle. So Green, Buckle, Alberson. McMiniman is itching as well. He's sort of just, I don't know, he's jostling his way up and down the pack. He sort of wants to stay up front,
for a while.
Gets pushed back a little bit, slips into third position just behind fourth position on the shoulder of Alberson behind Buckle. And Peter Green still doing all the work up front. Is he doing too much work, do you reckon?
Oh, he looks like he's just starting to fade a bit. Buckle's got that strength that I mentioned before, but I'm still putting my money on Harrison Boyd. He's got the wheels, and now we see him starting to make moves. He won medals at the state champs in the under-18s, and he's looking good here. So too Sam Alberson. He was a medalist in the 3K, just missed one in the 1500 at state champs. And Alberson, he was at the back of the pack early, and now he's just going to drift onto the shoulder of Buckle.
He is looking fresh, Albertson.
Looks like it's a 3-man race here. It's a Bendigo sandwich with Mentone in the middle. Sam Alberson, can he hang on? Here comes Harrison Boyd, though, the 156 800-metre man. He's going to get moving. Can he run down his teammate, Buckle? Buckle's got a few years on him, I think, and he's got the cross-country strength. So it's strength versus speed coming into the 100-metre straight here. Who's it going to be? Can Boyd find something? He found a huge sprint in the last 100 metres at state champs. He's going to have to dig deep here to find that again, and he moves onto the shoulder of Buckle. Does Buckle have anything? I can't call anything. And, oh, geez.
Oh,
that's got to be the closest of the night.
Yeah, we'll give Boyd over Buckle there, I reckon, as you were stressing yourself out calling the finish of that race.
Didn't want to put my glass down on anyone.
But anyway, that's why Bendigo Bats are going from strength to strength in their endurance running, cross-country distance running. They're the up-and-coming club, well and truly.
They're doing good work down there, led by Andy Buchanan and Brady Threlfall. Got the juniors coming through, and not sure who's won this one.
It'll be good to see them up running XCR next year.
Yeah, for the next few years, they're going to have a strong team. Got plenty of young guys to move through. So they'll be the ones to beat, I reckon.
Yeah, after Western Avs, of course.
If Jack Rayner runs off, for sure.
Yeah, I hear Jack's running every round. He's not going to Europe. Jack's staying running.
Never mind the Com Games and the World Champs.
Yeah, Jack's staying running.
Got bigger things on his mind.
Yeah, he's got Ballarat 15K to come to run.
Gels Park relays.
Yeah.
Got 2 paces in this women's A 1500 metres. Abby Caldwell is the class athlete in the field, so I'm assuming that 2 paces means they're going to be going for a hot pace here.
Yeah, well, do you want to know what the cash is? I mean, she could be in the money, Abby Caldwell. I'd say, yeah, I mean, she's got to be. Under 420, she gets $125, or whoever wins gets $125, should I say. Abby Caldwell, obviously coming off a 404 last week, is the form runner to take it out, but anyone, if they come first and they get under 420, $125. Under 417 is $250. Oof. And under 412, it's $500. So, I mean, Abby Caldwell ran 404 last week.
Should have
and she has to run under 412. Like, does she want $500 or not?
Well, she got 2 paces out here, so I'm assuming that their job is to get her the money. I'm sure she'll give them a cut of it if they do their jobs.
So the stadium announcers just doing a bit of a tribute to John Landy. That's why the women are just waiting on the track for the race to start. Okay, we're going to have 1 minute silence here at the track, so keep your eyes on the screen, but yeah, we have to be quiet now.
John Landy, rest in peace. Let's now introduce the field of the women's A 1500 metres.
So here we go, ready for the start of the women's A 1500 metres. What can Abby Caldwell run? 412 is the time she needs for the $500.
That's it. So 412s. Come on, how's your maths?
I'm sure that'll be in the back of her mind. 412 is 67.5s, I think. 68 right. Is 415. So
okay, so we're looking at 67s. 67s, 66s to be sure. 66, 212.
She's probably more than capable of that.
318. I'd say so, yeah. Just the appearance of the 2 paces sort of says that
tell we're on for something.
Yeah, she wouldn't mind paying for her flights to the next race. So it might be, yeah, as you say, the Abby Caldwell show, and then the train of athletes behind. So we'll be interested to see the toing and froing in the main pack. We'll obviously keep our eyes on Abby Caldwell for the money, but yeah. bit of almost like a race in two as Madison Caulfield leads out Janae Mackrell in the rest of the field. And we have Rosie Donegan from Melbourne University getting up on the shoulder of Madison Caulfield. But it is Abby Caldwell following the two paces around metronomically.
On pace for about a 65 first lap, which is well under that 4:12 pace. So they're definitely going for something fast here, not holding back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's not caring about money. Maybe she's going, I would actually say she's probably going for a World Champs qualifier.
So it was a 66 mid
66,
first lap.
So maybe not.
So
unless she winds up, although the paces would have been told a specific pace for a reason. So
yeah.
As one of them drops off, maybe Abby is saying, this is a bit fast.
Probably taking this as a bit of a tune-up race leading into nationals and some of the faster track classic meets.
That's a good point. And there's could be a bit of a European season to come as well for qualifying times, as she's been taken through 600 of the 1,500 metre journey. So set her up somewhat, but it's all Abby by herself for the final couple of laps. Madison Caulfield still does lead Rosie Donegan further back in the field.
It's about 158 through 700 metres. If she can just close in 67s, she'll be right on that 2:12 pace.
So Janae Mackrell is in the mix as well. As is Megan Dixon. She sits in 5th position in that pack.
Got a 50-metre gap between Abby Caldwell and Madison Caulfield leading the next pack of athletes. So 600 metres to go, 2:32 on the clock. Caldwell, it looks like she's actually picking it up a bit. So
yeah, she looks like such a smooth runner, doesn't she?
Pretty fresh if she can pick it up 600 metres out. We'll see the split as she comes through 1K. It's going to be 2:48. So she's moving nicely. And I'm sure she's got that $412, $500 in the back of her mind.
Yeah, she'll want to be at about a 6:05, 6:06 to know that she's relatively comfortable to close. To get under that 4:12 as she goes through in 3:06. So she got a 66-second last lap to get that $500. Madison Caulfield coming through now with Rosie Donegan in tow. Megan Dixon, Janae Mackrell are the next few in this pack. As is Zoe Toland in 6th position, but Abby Caldwell, all eyes on her for the money. Under 4:12, she gets $500. Under 4:17, she gets $250. She needs to close the last 200 metres in
about 32 seconds.
32 seconds.
It's going to be tough.
So she will need to put the burners on a bit. As we see in the bottom right of the screen, the rest of the field coming through, which is a great race in itself. Madison Caulfield, Rosie Donegan, Megan Dixon, all second, third, fourth in this women's A 1,500 metres. But it is Abby Caldwell needing to close 4 minutes and 12 seconds she needs to get that $500 charged towards the finish line. Will she do it? Might just miss out. $250 though for her trouble. It's not bad for a trip from Doncaster to Duncan MacKinnon Reserve in Murrumbeena. They'll pay for petrol, or maybe it won't right now. The petrol prices got up like they have. Madison Caulfield in second, Rosie Donegan, Janae Mackrell closing strong, Zoe Toland as well, running strong races.
Abigail Thomas coming over the line next. Annabelle Kiddo, Megan Dixon, Santosh Rowe, and Ebony Webb to round out. Oh, we've got one more athlete coming through. Looks like that'll be Tash Raw coming across the line. So very impressive running in the women's A race. Abby Caldwell, too good.
Yeah,
class
too
above.
Good. And just missing out on the extra $250. Didn't mind that gag about the petrol, actually.
It was a good one.
Oh,
sure, she'll have a laugh when
on,
she goes back and watches it. On
so
the final event of the Milers Club season for 2021.
How many races? If there's sort of roughly 30 races per season, per night, 5 races across the season, 150 races. Yeah, lasts about 150. Crazy.
And one of the biggest seasons in terms of participants as well.
It just keeps growing, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is a shame that there were other meets around this one. Probably
drew
numbers
other
have people away.
Dipped just slightly, but there's plenty of races to be run, especially here in Victoria right now, which is a good thing. You've got a few interstaters.
Fast men here. Adam Goddard making the trip from South Australia.
Brad Kitto from Tasmania. Hamish Longworth from New South Wales.
Cam Closey as well from South Australia. So teammates with Adam Goddard. Goddard, I'm sure, will be trying to run a fast time to cement himself as one of the favourites for the spots for the World Juniors.
Yeah.
I think at the moment, Peyton Craig from Queensland with 3:44 is the fastest, and then Cam Myers with 3:46. So
some competition on the under-20s right now, isn't there?
Anything faster than that, and you'll be looking good for nationals. So they're off to a quick start.
Patrick Matthews leading the way as he likes to. Baisha right up there as well. Staple name in Milers Club.
Is that Harrison Carr out there as well? Pacemaking.
And Will Lewis, if you don't mind. So
what a season he's had.
Lewis,
the comeback.
He has the comeback, exactly. Baisha, Lewis, Carr, Matthews. From Mentone, we have Geordie Hoare.
They've gone out hard as well.
From South Australia, Adam Goddard from Team Tempo in the ASICS blue singlet, slipping his way into 6th position. So I should mention the prize incentive, $345 will be the money for the men under 345. Not sure if it's quite going to be that quick tonight, but 57-second first lap is setting themselves up pretty well. And they've got a pacemaker for a reason, don't they?
Yeah, Harrison Carr's gone out pretty hard. Haven't seen him in action this season. He's on pacing duties tonight with Baisha behind, then Lewis. And then we've got Tom Bowers in 3rd with Adam Goddard just moving through the field nicely. Christopher Dale in next, then Patrick Matthews. So the field is strung out. And you'd imagine it's going to be a race in that top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
those boys.
Spread out field usually means it's quick, and it is looking that way right now.
It's about 1:44, so they're on track for about that 3:45 pace.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can hold it
laps.
once Harrison Carr steps off. Someone's going to have to take the lead here because Baisha he did look like he was struggling a bit there. There's a bit of a gap between him and Carr. Lewis does look very comfortable sitting on the shoulder, and it looks like he's going to just drift into the lead here and try and stretch this field out. Can expect Adam Goddard to try and work his way around.
He was drifting, wasn't he? Just nice and cruisy, nice and smooth, made his way into the front. 60-second lap, so they ran 2 minutes dead for the first 2 laps to hit that 3:45 pace. As Lewis extends his lead, I'm not sure if Lewis is getting quicker or Baisha is just getting a bit slower as Bowers is itching to pass him up on his shoulder. Christopher Dale is right there as well, and he'll drag Adam Goddard along for the ride as they get up on the shoulder of Baisha. But Lewis holds that lead of about 4 or 5 metres. He's not extending it, but holding it. And with 1 lap to go, 3:47, the pace has slipped ever so slightly. He'll need to close in a 58 second to get that 3:45, but he's going to do his best to get there.
So Lewis is about 5-10 metres on Bowers. You can see Goddard winding up now. He's ready to go. Can he get around Bowers down the back straight? He's going to have to go now.
And he will.
Lewis is moving nicely though, but geez, Goddard is really starting to wind it up now. Can we see a big last 200 from Adam Goddard? He's to make the trip from South Australia worth it. He's slowly closing in on Will Lewis. Does Lewis have anything to respond with in the last 100 metres?
Don't predict it, for God's sake.
Not going to pin the win on anyone yet.
But Lewis is looking good, isn't he?
He is
He's running strong. Goddard is closing. It always is the closer who probably looks a bit better But Lewis looks like he is going to hold that lead.
I think we can say he will hold the lead.
3:45. Oh, it's going to be 3:45 points, I reckon. Goddard in
impressive
second.
running there.
Bowers in third position. Christopher Dale, strong run in fourth. Michael Marantali in fifth position there. Whew. 3:45. Didn't think we'd see 3:45 tonight. Or
fast running there.
Could have been 3:46, thereabouts.
Good way to
maybe
cap
just
off.
out of the money, but
Yeah. Good way to cap off the comeback season for Will Lewis.
yeah, definitely. He
Getting the win at
didn't
Milers
race the
Club.
first couple of meets, City.
I think he was out until like January. I think he
Yeah,
came back
yeah.
in the back half of the season.
But yeah, getting a win in the last race, that's you want to see.
And Goddard, 3:46. I'm sure he'll be happy with that heading into nationals. Good tune-up race.
Yeah, definitely. So, as we said, last race on the last night of the 5-race series at Milers Club for this season, as Will Lewis gets the final win. As his mate's trying to hold him, hand him a.
Josh
I
McLeod.
thought he was going to hand him a watermelon Gatorade, but no.
Selfish from Josh.
Events coming up. Obviously, we've got nationals pretty soon. We've got Sydney Track. Well, we don't, but there is the Sydney Track Classic coming soon. We,
The Tiger
Athletics
5 as well.
exclusive, have the Box Hill Classic in 2 weeks, which is 3,000 metres, 1,500, and a couple of elite 800-metre races. So that will be next. I believe, Izak, you're going to be back and commentating that one with Mitch. So, yeah, Box Hill Track Classic in a couple of weeks' time. Good night and see you later. Izak gets his first A-race win on his home track.
Moves onto the shoulder of Buckle. Does Buckle have anything? I can't call anything. And oh, jeez. That's got to be the closest to the
4
night.
minutes and 12 seconds she needs to get that $500. Charge towards the finish line. Will she do it? Might just miss out. $250 go for it. Probably looks a bit better. Lewis looks like he's going to hold that lead. 3:45.